In 5 hours I've been playing this game and I've been already like grinding the shit out of it. It's really not that hard to gain money in this. Like,
let's talk about Venus. Hot, heavy, allegedly uninhabitable. But that's just what they want you to think. See, Venus used to be alive. Thick atmosphere? Sure, but rich in nutrients, balanced pressure. And then came the cloud.
oh, that's
seeding.
the employee?
Same
Okay,
tech they tested on
I
Jupiter.
get it.
Only this time, they didn't use it to whisper storms. They used it to erase evidence. Because Venus was habitable. Still is, if you know where to land. And guess who moved in? The Galactic Illuminati. Yeah, those guys. They took the whole planet, rebranded it as inaccessible, told us it was too hot, too acidic, not even fun at parties. Meanwhile, they built cities.
It
in
sounds
the upper
exactly
clouds,
like the Western
floating
Breath Edge.
fortresses, thought control towers, dream filters, and somewhere in there,
Same kind of jokes
a
too.
vegan cafe that serves mind-stabilized
Vegan
kelp.
No fun
cafe.
at parties.
They don't want me talking about this. Every time I broadcast, they try to fog the signal, replace my feed with cat videos and mid-tier galactic jazz.
Okay, is that a big
But I
deal
keep
though?
going.
Who cares?
Not because I'm brave, because of the space patriots out there like you. You, who refuse to let your consciousness be sorted into ad-friendly clusters. You, who know that the truth isn't optimized for streaming.
Thank you.
Venus is broadcasting too. If you listen during sleep,
They're playing!
during static, during that weird moment between sneezes, you'll hear it. A
Hit
hum, a warning, a grocery list
blues?
with your
What?
name
I'm
on it.
confused. Wait, what?
They're afraid of you. That's why they clouded the skies. That's why they say Venus is dead.
E.
We'll be back, signal willing. Until then, trust no forecast, dodge all kelp, and never stop listening between the noise. Hi, welcome. You're listening to the Helix Jones Show. Or at least, you were. If this reaches you, congrats.
What
You're
happened?
still on the frequency they haven't scrubbed yet. Because Space Corp is suing me. You,
No, I'm busted!
yeah.
Oh, come
Officially,
on.
the charge is
Oh,
severe
yes, come on.
disruption of human morale. Apparently, I've been saying things that make the workforce sad. What a
Busted.
myth. Human morale, please. That's as real as Martians
You got
flying in
21,
a straight
really?
line. Also, because this bunk should good for me raving. They can't. It's the antlers. No balance,
what?
no aerodynamics, constant left turns. You ever try forming a phalanx with creatures that headbutt their own shadows? I have.
Busted.
Once. Never again. But anyway, back to the lawsuit. They say I'm sabotaging interstellar cohesion, that I encourage skepticism and make too many jokes about asteroid citizenship
Did not
programs.
win.
Guilty on all counts.
Oh,
I
boy.
fought it still and
Oh,
get it
fuck off.
cohesion.
Really?
But here's the thing.
22.
I've got you. Listeners,
Oh, I got
signal
you,
hackers,
babe.
space patriots, the ones out there boosting this show through garbage repeaters, moondish relays, and
going on?
forgotten vending hubs. You've helped me stay live, but they're still coming. I've had drones buzz my signal
to go to
shack,
work. I'm sorry.
found corporate snack wrappers in my laundry. One of them licked my airlock window and whispered, "We see you."
Ew.
So yeah, I'm on the run now. I'm recording this from inside a moving supply crate full of artificial nut dust and expired space muffins. Do not pity me. The muffins are actually pretty good. They may catch the broadcast, they may shut it down, but they'll never silence the signal. As long as one of you out there is listening, really listening, I'm still in the game. More
I'm in the
soon.
game.
Or never.
It's
Depends how
okay.
long this crate takes to hit terminal velocity. Until then, stay weird, stay wireless.
You
And if
munchies.
someone knocks,
What is that?
ask if they have antlers.
Handlers?
So,
Do you have
I
handlers?
went
don't
undercover.
know.
Deep. Inside one of
Deep
Space Corp's
undercover.
employee enrichment stations. One of millions. They say it's where humans relax, unwind, recharge, I say it's where dreams go to choke on the smell of recycled floor
alcohol?
wax. Let me walk you through it. You step inside, and it's wall-to-wall Lucky Gorblash slot machines. Everywhere. Lights flashing, tentacles spinning, big cartoon alien yelling, "Try again, friend beast! Only 90 more credits for a taste of joy!" 90 credits. That's what the average human on station earns in a full cycle of mop-tier labor. And they're spending it all to watch a cartoon squid mock their income bracket in real time. Some of them cheer when they lose. I saw a man bow to the machine. Another gave it his belt. The walls were decorated too. But not with art, no. Posters. Smiling asteroids, motivational slime quotes. My personal favorite, sadness is just pre-happy, now get back to work. And at the center of it all, the warp attendant. A guy named Steve, whose job it is to enhance morale through guided teleportation. Only problem? Every time he tried to warp someone, he spawned a slime creature. At one point, I counted 6 slimes. One was sentient, one was hungry, one wrote poetry. They were all sticky. No one did anything. Management just handed them a name badge and put them on shift. This is what Space Corp considers enrichment. Flashy lights, disposable wages, and the very real chance that your atoms get scrambled and wake up slimy. But I saw through it. I kept my badge, my hat,
Is this ready? I don't
my
think it
cover
is.
story, lonely consultant, level 3.
I don't know how long it takes for it to
They
do.
never suspected a thing. Except one slime. He winked at me. I think he knew. We'll be back after I scrub this corporate stink off my jumpsuit. Until then, if your teleportation booth smells like mint and betrayal... So... I went undercover. D. Inside
fuck off,
one of
really?
Space Corp's employee enrichment stations. One of millions. They say it's where humans relax, unwind, recharge. I say it's where dreams go to choke on the smell of recycled floor wax. Let me walk you through it. You step inside, and it's wall-to-wall Lucky Gorblash slot machines. Everywhere. Lights flashing, tentacles spinning, big cartoon alien yelling, "Try again, friend beast! Only 90 more credits for a taste of joy!" 90 credits. That's what the average human on station earns in a full cycle of mop-tier labor. And they're spending it all to watch a cartoon squid mock their income bracket in real time. Some of them cheer when they lose. I saw a man bow to the machine. Another gave it his belt. The walls were decorated too. But not with art, no. Posters. Smiling asteroids, motivational slime quotes. My personal favorite, sadness is just pre-happy, now get back to work. And at the center of it all, the warp attendant. A guy named Steve, whose job it is to enhance morale through guided teleportation. Only problem? Every time he tried to warp someone, he spawned a slime creature. At one point, I counted 6 slimes. One was sentient, one was hungry, one wrote poetry. They were all sticky. No one did anything. Management just handed them a name badge and put them on shift. This is what Space Corp considers enrichment. Flashy lights, disposable wages, and the very real chance that your atoms get scrambled and wake up slimy. But I saw through it. I kept my badge, my hat, my cover story, lonely consultant, level 3. They never suspected a thing. Except one slime. He winked at me. I think he knew. We'll be back after I scrub this corporate stink off my jumpsuit. Until then, if your teleportation booth smells like mint and betrayal... This is Helix Jones broadcasting from inside a damp crate somewhere off the coast of reality. Tonight I'm joined by someone who used to be a bear. Please welcome, what's left of him, Corp.
What the fuck?
Thank you, Helix. I appreciate the platform. Even if I now absorb most platforms through osmosis.
Let's start at the beginning. You were a unionized orbital hauler in Quadrant 4B, correct?
Correct. I lifted things. I moved things. I once arm wrestled a meteor and won.
And now you're slightly into my chair.
Yes. It's very embarrassing. The teleportation attendant, the human named Milo, said I looked tense. He offered me a warp. 5 credits, Helix. I've warped millions of times. This warp should have been like all of the others.
And instead?
I arrived phallic-shaped. No claws, no spine, just emotions. Sometimes I weep through my corners. Space Corp did nothing. They said I will now be their new ambassador of flexibility.
Of course they did.
They said I'm more huggable now. I used to lead morale seminars with a roar. Now they roll me across cafeteria tiles like a stressed toy.
Corb, do you still dream of being a bear?
Every ripple, every jiggle. I remember the snowfields of 4B. I remember honey with purpose.
Would you go back if you could?
Beautiful, tragic, slightly sticky, in a heartbeat. But until then, I ooze forward. For the others. For every bear made squishy by bureaucracy. For the ones who still have teeth and the ones who are teeth now.
Beautiful, tragic, slightly sticky. Corb, thank you. For your courage. For your slime.
And thank you, Helix. You're the only voice still brave enough to interview a bear who now fits in a cereal bowl.
We'll be back after I sanitize this mic. To those listening, if your coworker starts wobbling and weeping through their nostrils, check the teleportation logs. They say it's air. They say the vents on deck C, D, and F-12 are pumping breathable, oxygen-rich, human-grade air. But let me ask you something, citizen. Why does it smell like citrus in the mess hall? Why does everyone suddenly crave snack bars right after a pressure cycle? You think that's just a coincidence? You think old Helix hasn't done his homework? Wrong. Because I've seen the Jupiter reports, the real ones, not the scrub summaries they let the interns read. I'm talking the raw footage from the cloud seeding expeditions back when Space Corp still pretended to be a science organization and not a floating grocery chain with executive privilege. They dropped those nanocrystal canisters right into Jupiter's lower storm bands. And guess what came back up? Behavioral modifiers. Gases that affect your impulse centers. Compounds that bypass the nose, go straight to the amygdala and whisper, buy more, crave more, obey more. It wasn't just weather they were testing. It was compliance. Now fast forward 3 standard cycles. The vents on this station, they're not pumping air. They're dosing us. Slowly. Repeatedly. Subtly. Oh, sure, the oxygen content checks out, because technically you are breathing. But alongside that O2,
Gosh, dang it.
there's a
It's not
whisper of
staying.
something else. Something patented. Something proprietary. I've got the molecule ID codes. I've got the purchase order logs. I've got the whistleblower, or what's left of him after a visit from the cleaners. Ever wonder why the new self-checkout kiosks have heat sensors in the handrails? Why your retinal scan suddenly links to your snack preferences? Why every hallway smells like fresh-baked cookies, even though there hasn't been a functional oven on this deck in 6 months? That's not hospitality. That's conditioning. They don't need guards. They don't need fences. They just need you to breathe deep and keep shopping. This station is a mall with life support. And guess what? You're paying for the privilege to be farmed like a dopamine cow. But not me. Helix Jones doesn't breathe their air. I got filters, triple layered, with anti-particulate graphene mesh smuggled in from the Saturn Ring Syndicate. I see the truth. I smell the lie. And every time I hear that of the vent system kicking on, I say a little prayer to the stars. Not for me, but for you, because you're already halfway gone. But maybe, just maybe, if you turn off your station-issued air mask, seal your quarters, and switch to backup tanked supply, you might start to remember who you are. You might wake up. But if you don't, well, hey, at least your breath will smell like lemon zest when they cart you to the loyalty rehab pods. This is Helix Jones, broadcasting truth across the void. Stay sharp, stay sealed, and don't trust the vent. Ever notice how no one talks about the slimes anymore? You know
You
the ones
literally just talked about them.
the things that come crawling out of failed transporter bays, vaguely human, sort of. Skin like microwave-safe jelly. Eyes that don't blink, mouths that don't breathe, just smile. They tell you it's just a malfunction. Transporter desync, residual matter anomaly. Oh, don't worry, citizen. Your loved one is safe. We're just scraping their duplicate off the bulkhead. Lies. All of it. What's really happening? They're replacing us. One glitch at a time. Because these aren't accidents. They're deliveries. Listen close. When a human enters a low-security station transporter, especially one manned by a minimum-wage janitor in a Space Corp vest, they don't always come out the same. Sometimes, they don't come out at all. And in their place, something
Different.
wet.
Wet? Ew.
Something programmable. I've seen the footage. I've intercepted the logs. The slime things? They're drones. Biological, disposable, obedient. And they don't bleed. They melt. You think it's coincidence that their internal temperatures match deep core Martian geothermal zones? You think the Martian government doesn't know? They built the first prototype. Don't forget, Mars didn't sign the Organic Rights Accords. They opted out. And ever since then, they've had carte blanche to test replacement tech on the rest of us. Slime drones don't eat. They absorb. They don't think. They transmit. Back to the deep star data lattice, to whoever's really pulling the strings. Galactic intelligence says, oh no, they're just transporter accidents. Then why are the slimes always smiling? Why do they all respond to the same two words? Resume protocol. Look it up. You can't. They wiped the archives last cycle. But Helix Jones remembers. And if you're listening, really listening, you should know. If you stepped through a glitchy transporter in the last fiscal year and you've been feeling off, like your skin doesn't fit right, like you remember things no one else recalls, you might not be you. You might be version 2. But hey, before we go further, a quick word from today's sponsor, Astro Almonds, barely poisonous. With 9 essential minerals, 3 unnecessary ones, and a freshness seal that may or may not be listening. Astro Almonds, obey your hunger, forget your doubts. Back to it. The truth is simple. Slimes aren't the failure. We are. We're failing to notice, to resist, to question. But not me. Not Helix. I see what's crawling in the corridors. There's something new on the stations. Not new like a fresh coat of paint or a discount menu at the nutrient bar. New like a smell in the air you've never smelled before, and suddenly everyone's pretending it's always been there. I'm talking about The Voice. The British one, a bit tough, says he'll be back soon. Watches your back? Collaborated? Of course it does. Every human I've met on these decks hears it. All of them, no exceptions. They nod along like happy little pulse rats, absorbing every lesson this floating accent pillow feeds them. But they never talk about him. And that is what gets me. Even the loud ones, the brash ones, the ones that whine about recycled water pressure and shift rotations, none of them say his name. It's like he's part of the station, like he was built in. But I've been through 63 versions of this installation class. I've slept in forgotten bunkers, swam through cooling ducts, mapped every shadow these halls had to offer. A55 wasn't here. Not until the humans showed up. And now he's everywhere. Corrects their mistakes, answers before they speak, somehow always knows exactly what they need to do next. Which, if you've ever dealt with humans, you'll know is not just suspicious, it's unnatural. I ran a trace on his signal, looped through at least 8 fake subroutines, but the source? Deep core lattice. Old tech. Stuff they don't even make anymore. Stuff that predates the human arrival to this quadrant by about, 200 years. So who woke him up? And why is he helping them? Because let me tell you something, listener. No one helps humans for free. Not out here. Not in the black. Not without a price. I've heard the voice too. He doesn't address me, of course. I'm not one of his precious little carbon-based charges. But sometimes I hear a pause. Like he's waiting.
Why is this
Like
one
he knows
not
I'm
working?
listening. And just once, he
It's
said
so
something
weird.
that wasn't on any tutorial. You're not part of the plan, Helix. That's when I stopped sleeping near powered terminals. Because whoever, or whatever, A55 is,
Why is
he's
this one
not your
bugged?
guide. He's not your friend. He's your handler. Wake up, meatbags. You're not being
I
taught.
don't like it. I don't
You're
like
being
it.
aligned. This is Helix Jones, last of the free. Watching the leash tighten around your collective throat while you cheer for a polite voice and a clean map. Stay sharp. Stay alone. And don't follow instruction. This might be my last one for a while. Not by choice, not by will, just a feeling you might hear my stories repeated. I was sitting here at the console, half a bag of freeze-dried orbit onion rings, static in my left channel, humming from the thermal coils, and then I noticed it. The clock. Now you know me. Helix watches time. I measure time, I count it, because time is the one thing Space Corp hasn't been able to patent yet. But the console says I've been live for 1 hour and 47 minutes. I can feel that number. I remember the words, but my bones, my gut, they say it's only been 10 minutes or 10 days. And the stars outside the window, they're wrong. Same pattern, same brightness, but they're closer or further or moving in ways stars don't move unless they're watching you back. Something's shifting. Something's winding
Good
up
shit,
or winding
little
down.
robot.
I can't tell anymore. And when it gets like this, hazy, weightless,
That's some
liquid,
good
I
robot
know
right there.
what comes next. The loop. I go back, wake up at the checkpoint bunker. Same old broadcast bay, same flickering screen, same half-eaten ration. Like nothing happened. Like I never warned you. Like the voice never said reset confirmed. They scrub it. Every time. My logs,
That's funny.
my vitals, my memories.
Say
But
something
not all of them.
human-like.
Some things slip through, like the
Wow.
mark behind my left ear, or the pulse that comes from the console when it's unplugged, or the fact that I've died in Bay 6 4 times already, and it's always Tuesday. I think Space Corp is looping me. Or maybe it's the stars. Or maybe I broke some kind of
water.
protocol when I heard A55 say my name. They're trying to fold me back in, make me play the part again. And this right now might be the last crack in the wall before it resets. So if you're hearing this, leave something behind. Something they can't smooth over. A scratch, a word, a dent in the console. A broadcast at 2:43 station time. Anything. Because if I go back in, and I will, I want to find proof. Proof that I got out, that I made contact, that I was here. This is Helix Jones. Still lost. Still fighting. Still listening. Stay out of Bay 6. Don't trust the clocks. And if the stars start speaking again, don't answer. We're back, Space Patriots. And I've got another call lighting up the plasma board. This one's from Sammy on the Comet line. Sammy, you're live. What the hell did you see?
Drek, I saw it with my own oculars. A human. A real live one, not a simulation. Was just standing there in the commissary. Eating astro almonds.
Sweet Saturn scrotum! Are you serious?
Popped one in like it was a snack. No
It
gloves,
is a
no
snack.
protective gum film, not even a splash of neutralizer gel. Just crunch. Like a savage.
They're poisonous, Sammy. Barely, sure, but still. What's next? Snorting freeze-dried nebula nuts?
And get this, Drek. He didn't even flinch. Just stared at me like I was the problem. I swear I saw his pupils dilate. They got bigger. It wasn't a clockwise spiral.
Classic Venus fog reaction. That confirms it. The almonds are definitely how they launder the mind control chemicals. You eat a handful, next thing you know, you're voting for pro-Federation trade reps and crying during Saturn Day musicals.
They said it was a new flavour. No, Drek. It was a new phase of compliance.
Damn right. Space sheep will take note. If you see a human eating astro almonds, run. Or better yet, spray him with vinegar mist and scream the Pleiades national anthem
Obscure
backwards.
products?
That short circuits their spinal implants. Trust me.
Thanks, Drek. Love the show. Haven't trusted air since 2381, and it's thanks to you.
Stay alert, stay armed, and stay hydrated. Preferably not from public dispensers. We'll be right back after this word from Tentashield, the only home security system legally allowed to zap humans on contact.
Nice.
Space
Makes sense.
is unpredictable. 1 minute, you're sipping recycled tea in your station hammock. The next, your entire quadrant is being politely consumed by a Class 7 gravitational singularity. That's why smart citizens trust Eventushore Black Hole Insurance. With Eventushore, you're covered for asset evaporation, existential displacement, partial timeline fragmentation, and one complimentary goodbye cube to scream into during black hole
Bananas
collapse.
and balls.
Eventually
Bananas
does
and
not guarantee
balls.
survival, refund, or continuity of matter. Void if consumed in full. Not valid in the Andromeda exclusion zone.
Eventushore, because you might survive. I didn't think it was.
Of orange. That's
truly didn't.
orange.
I thought humans were the bottom of the gravity well. But I was wrong. There's something worse. Martians. Oh, you haven't seen them yet? You
Oh,
will.
yeah.
They're
seen
sneaky.
them.
They're red. They're lumpy. And they think just because they survived 3 terraforming recalls and a coffee war, they're qualified to run a hydroponics bay. They don't even eat plants. They absorb moisture through their knees. Their knees, people. Last week, I saw one try
Their
to
knees, people.
enhance a vending machine by merging with it. 5 minutes later, I had a bag of Flex chips that called me by name. I don't want snacks that know my middle name.
Oops.
Tarvac. Not real name, not legally binding, not admissible in vacuum court. And don't even get me started on Martian economic theory. You know how they fix inflation? They inflate things. Literally. That's why the price of galactic cola keeps going up. They're pumping helium into the cans and calling it sparkle tax. And the Federation? Oh, they love it. They're handing out diversity points like space candy. Look at us, they say. We've got humans, Martians, even a guy that's technically 6 ducks in a robe. But I ask you, can any of them land a shuttle without vomiting on the nav console? I've seen Martians reroute coolant through a library. I've seen them pray to a lamp. One time I caught one slow dancing with a printer, and the printer liked it. If we let them keep climbing the command ladder, folks, we're going to end up with a fleet admiral who thinks oxygen is a suggestion. Martians, humans, 2 arms of the same meat puppet. One smells like coffee farts, the other like battery acid and broken dreams. Either way,
Ow.
we're boned. Look, I've said a lot of things on this show. I've accused 3 entire planets of being flat. I've questioned the ethics of Venusian sock farms, and I once fought a telepathic blender on air. But this,
Oh, wait. He's
this
not there
is
yet.
bigger than all of that.
Yeah. Okay.
Space cats were the first engineers. Yeah, laugh now, but I've got the data, folks. I've got the fur-covered receipts. You ever look at the original schematics for the interstellar jump gate system? Whisker spacing, precise, symmetrical, paw print signatures in the margins. Ever wonder why every starship starts malfunctioning near warm surfaces? Because cats coded the engines to seek naps. Why do you think maintenance hatches are just big enough for something four-legged and smug to squeeze through? Why did cargo crates mysteriously fall over when you're about to win an argument? Why does your AI suddenly say, "I'm sorry, I can't do that, Drek," right when you're opening the tuna storage bay? Because the cats are still in the system! The Galactic Federation? They won't admit it. They've scrubbed the archives. They replaced them with something called Feline Utility Protocol 9, which is just a fancy way of saying, don't ask about the tail-shaped wiring. But I remember the old days, when you could pet your ship's chief engineer and not get slapped with a misconduct claim. When fur in the coolant line meant you were in good paws. Now we've got humans fiddling with panel logic like it's a Sudoku puzzle, and Martians trying to integrate energy flows through interpretive dance. Bring back the cats. Bring back order. All right, space citizens, buckle in and keep your tinfoil calibrated, because this one's been cooking in the back of my brain like a solar omelet. The moon is sentient, and it hates us. Helix, they say.
Yeah.
The moon's just a rock. A rock doesn't follow you across the sky for all of human history, Jerry. You ever notice how the tides line up perfectly with your worst emotional decisions? You ever stare into a full moon and feel like it's judging you for eating that entire asteroid burrito? That's not guilt, that's lunar psychic projection. Documented in 17 separate ancient space tablets, all mysteriously lost in a meteor incident. Yeah, okay. You think it was aliens that blew up Earth? Wrong! It was a strategic betrayal by our nearest neighbor, a silent sky orb with a grudge. The moon saw we were finally getting too advanced, that we were one small step from discovering its true form, and it said, "Not on my orbit." Now it's everywhere. The moon controls the Federation calendar. The moon decides when your rent is due. The moon has real estate holdings on over 12 moons that aren't even itself. Why does a moon need a condo, huh? I have photographic proof the moon has blinked twice. One time on live holocast and nobody said a thing because we've been trained not to see it. Wake up, the moon isn't your friend. It's not romantic, it's not poetic. It's a giant, silent, emotionally repressed death orb waiting for its next move. And if you're still not convinced, next time it's full, try looking away. See how long it lasts. I know I say this a lot, but this time it's personal, because for cycles now I've been watching the signs, the solar flares, the radiation patterns, the unusually warm horoscopes, and now I know the truth. The sun has a favorite species, and it's not
Us.
us. But Helix, they say, the sun doesn't pick sides. Wrong. The sun is the original influencer, the glowing gatekeeper. And let me tell you something, it's playing favorites. You think it's a coincidence that the Solarian crystals only resonate for the Flareborn? That their skin glows under direct exposure while the rest of us get sunstroke and hallucinate our tax debt? No. Oh, and who gets all the free energy subsidies? The light-skinned solar lizards with photosynthetic temples and organic space farms. Meanwhile, I put one reflective dish on my dome to siphon a little gamma buzz, and suddenly I'm committing thermal theft. Bite me. I've seen it. I've felt it. The solar codes are
really
not
racist.
random. They're targeted transmissions. That's why my printer keeps speaking in riddles during solar maximum. I don't care if you're a hydrogen-sucking, neutrino-huffing academic. You can't explain why the sun keeps accidentally flaring over civilizations on the verge of revolution. Every time we organize, boom, UV riots. It's sabotage. And it's selective. All right, line 7. You're live on the Galactic Patriot Hour. Name and species?
Name's Torque. Torque Slimburn. On a reticulated shellback from the June stretch. I just wanted to say, Helix, you're right. I stared into the sun for 2 full hours, and now I understand everything.
Brave. And also horrifying. Go on.
The sun spoke to me, man. It called me bro, said I was not the chosen waveform. It melted half my eye, but downloaded a prophecy into my spinal fluid.
It melted my eye.
Now, constantly.
You poor bastard.
I can see the solar pecking order. It's real. We're like 12th, below bees. Space bees, Helix. Space bees get better treatment than us. I've been saying it for years. I gotta go. My furniture's evaporating.
My furniture's evaporating.
Stay strong, Torque. Wrap your head in foil and scream in reverse Latin. It slows the burn.
Nice.
We are being roasted for our ignorance, charbroiled by bias, and if we don't stand up, if we don't demand equal solar representation, we're going to be left in the goddamn cosmic shade. Black holes. The scientific community calls them mysteries.
Dang
A
it.
gravitational anomaly, a space-time singularity, a swirling pit of unknowable mass.
Ow.
Sure. And I'm a Federation certified mailman.
Maybe?
Listen up, space patriots. Black holes are not natural. They are deliberate. They are manufactured. They are intergalactic trash chutes. And that's right. The whole can't escape the event horizon thing, that's not physics. That's policy. Once it goes in, it stays in. Forever. Just like my first marriage and every planetary defense grant I've ever applied for. You ever ask yourself why we've never gotten a probe back? Huh? Not one. Not even a voicemail. Because
How dare
they're
they?
being sorted.
Ghosting you.
I have reports. Unclassified only because they were printed on napkins that say
Ow, fuck you.
old military tech has been showing up missing from deep storage. You know what else is missing? Entire moons.
Oh,
Cult
not
leaders.
the moon!
The recipe for Galactic Cola Classic. They're tossing it all in there, and someone, something, is organizing it. Surveillance nodes, heat signatures, pulses. It's all cataloged by what lives in the core. Building back up, now furious. You think it's a coincidence that every waste contract ends with offloaded to gravitational anomaly? It's a scam, a recycling racket. We're not throwing things away, we're feeding them. Feeding the eye in the pit. It's watching us. It's learning. It's got a complete inventory of our entire civilization's trash. And you better believe it's been judging us this whole time. I saw my old toaster in a deep field scan. I'm not making this up. It had teeth now, and it blinked. I didn't throw it away. The Federation did. With my tax credits. Welcome back to the Patriot Power Hour, the only show powered by facts, rage, and a small illegal reactor under my floor. And today, I'm coming for the real criminals, Space OPEC. That's right, the Outer Planetary Energy Cartel, aka the same slime balls who've been artificially limiting fuel reserves while sitting on enough graviton oil to ignite a nebula. We're just regulating the flow, they say. Regulating? Buddy, I've seen less choking in a Martian mime tournament. Do you know what I paid for a liter of Phase 2 Flux Gel last week? 28 credits! That's more than I paid for my last exosuit and the trial to get custody of my clone. Why? Because some interstellar trust fund larvae on Titan decided they didn't feel good about drilling this cycle. Oh, but they felt great about selling moonbeam futures to the hyper-rich. Great job, Draxel! Now I can't even warm up my protein slop without bartering a kidney. You know who's letting this happen? The Galactic Federation. Of course. They say, oh, we're switching to renewable zero-point energy. Yeah? Try using 0 Point to run a freighter full of angry Martians with demanding protein schedules. I'll wait. Spoiler, you can't. You ever try to bribe a port authority with good vibes? No. You need fuel. You need credits, and Space OPEC is hoarding both. And let me ask you this. Where's the fuel actually going? I've got reports, leaked from inside a gas giant, that suggest Space OPEC is storing flux reserves in privately owned wormholes. You heard me. They're using wormhole vaults. That's like hiding your piggy bank inside a black hole and telling your grandma it's for emergencies. Next time on Galactic Patriot Hour. They told us fusion core shortages were inevitable. They blamed supply chain collapses, quantum instability, and someone spilling
Oh my
soup on
gosh,
the
how
reactor
much do I-
blueprints. But I know the truth. There's a warehouse full of pristine fusion cores just sitting on Pluto. Rows, racks, stacks. Enough to power every starship in the sector for the next millennium. just collecting dust behind a bio-locked fence, guarded by retired clones and a blind AI named Milton, who thinks he's still working in customer service. You ever had your identity verified by a toaster with abandonment issues? It's haunting. We're being lied to. They've got the juice. They just don't want you to have it.
Got the
Because if you
juice.
had power, you wouldn't need them. See you next cycle,
I'm
Patriots.
cheating and
Bring
I'm
a
going
flashlight.
inside. Oh
and
no,
maybe a
this one did
decoy
not
note.
count, I'm pretty
I
sure.
finally got it. The proof. Fusion core shortage? Fake. Rolling blackouts? Manufactured. Cosmic supply drought? More like cosmic BS. Serious. I've got coordinates. I've got a retirement clone registry password stolen from a malfunctioning toaster at a lunar flea market, and I'm gonna hack it. Right now. Okay. Logging into the unified clone leisure database. Login not a 3_42. Password fast let me in 123. Access granted. I'm in. Oh, stars. Look at this. Clone 77B, formerly Sergeant Blackout, stationed on Pluto Storage Unit 8G. Purpose guard duty, fuel stabilization oversight. That's a fancy way of saying Fusion Core babysitter. Clone 12K, still clocked in. Says he hasn't taken a break since 2364. He thinks he's still in.
This one is bugged.
Never told him to clock out.
No
Hold on, I'm pinging
particular
the facilities
reason.
AI.
Just bugged.
Direct uplink to Milton Unit Prime, the janitor AI that's been watching over the core since the war.
What just happened?
Hello, this is Milton. I see nothing. I feel neglected. I have 14,291 fusion cores under my supervision. Please do not steal them. I get very anxious.
He knows. He just confessed. 14,000 cores, folks. Confirmed.
Also, please don't tell the clones. They are very lonely. One keeps drawing eyebrows on the walls.
The eyebrows thing? That's haunting. But we can't let emotion cloud the mission. These cores must be liberated. All right, line 5. Are you seeing what I'm seeing?
Helix! My uncle's a retirement clone from the same unit. He told me he once saw the cores but thought they were just training props.
Props? They're fully active fusion bombs, and the Federation's just letting them collect dust?
He said if anyone asks, they're told it's a morale test.
So let me get this straight. 14,000 fusion cores, guarded by burnout soldiers and an AI with trust issues, and the official policy is vibe check? We could be fueling cities, fleets, dreams, but instead we're rationing flashlight time and paying premium for knockoff solar batteries that go limp in the rain. They're hoarding power. They're hiding the truth. But I just found the key. Milton blinked for... That's the taste of Uncle Slog's meatia muffins. Lovingly mashed, blended, and thermally shocked for maximum protein compliance.
Space Pachinko.
It's
Ooh,
not
a new one.
meat, but it's meat.
Product not verified to contain meat. Do not expose to starlight or diplonic events. May cause spontaneous loyalty to the paste. This episode of the Helix Jones broadcast is brought to you by Astrochips. Now in supernova salt and void vinegar. Crunch into the cosmos with confidence. Astrochips. They're probably not sentient
I was thinking
anymore.
it was like a physical release.
Okay, now that the corporate mind control obligations are out of the way, let's talk about the stellar
Yeah, sure,
highways.
let's see.
Was it force or was it
You've
smell?
seen them. Glowing lanes
Vote now in
between
the comments
stars.
below.
So the craziest thing happened, and I'm wondering if I should seek medical attention. Today, I woke up and nature called as usual. I made my way over to the bathroom and did my business. Now, I'm not sure what happened exactly, if I pushed too hard or what, but something in my head popped. It was in the back of my head at the apex of the back of the skull. This is the part that scared me. I had intense pain, really intense pain in the back of my head. I get cluster headaches and migraines from time to time, but this was not a headache. This was just an intense pain in the back of my head. I am a cancer survivor, Ewing sarcoma. That is a cancer that forms in your bones or in nearby soft tissue. And I have dealt with level 10 pain. This was easily an 8 or a 9 on my pain scale. So I went back to my bed, and my girlfriend saw how much pain I was in. She brought Advil, and the pain went down to a dull roar for about 6 hours, and is now more or less gone. But the crazy thing that happened is when I got out of bed, I just started sniffling, and then a large amount of mucus just came out of both nostrils, the most I have ever seen in my life. Now, I have had almost no sense of smell for quite a long time. I was always congested and could not smell anything. Antihistamines did nothing. After this event, I can smell perfectly again. I am smelling things I haven't smelled in forever and getting very nostalgic. I'm honestly so worried something is going to build up and take my smell away again. But even if it does, today has just been the best day in a long time. I'm in no pain right now, but I am wondering if I should seek medical attention. I am also wondering if this will stop my snoring. I guess I'll find out tonight. Honestly, this is such a ridiculous story, and I'm not even ashamed of it. I want to tell everyone. They write, ha 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 ha. Has anything like this happened to anyone else? TLDR, I took a shit, popped my head, became a booger faucet, then regained my sense of smell.
That's
As one does.
okay.
Relatable.
I don't think the shit had anything to do. I don't think the shit in the pop had anything to do with like this like sudden like sinus evacuation.
But he said he was in massive pain for like 6 hours.
Yeah.
Like, so something, but it was the back of his head, which shouldn't be related to sinus.
But I mean,
It does,
you never
though.
know because I guess
Everything
like,
is
pressure
related.
can build in
Yeah.
weird ways. I mean, our sinuses are like
Maybe the back of that
so,
hit
like,
released
messed
enough
up.
pressure
Yeah,
for his
that-
nose to
Maybe his
finally
brain got confused between
Release.
anus and sinus.
empty
Just kind of
itself.
was like, let's clear them
Yeah.
both out.
Yeah, yeah.
Evacuate both.
It was actually the mucus was actually a living thing up there, and when he pooped so hard, it like just got jostled around and had to
Whoa,
evacuate.
Simba.
Yeah,
Probably what happened.
that's probably what happened.
Yeah.
Well, either way, it
Well,
seems
Get your
to me,
mommy.
in my non-professional opinion, he did whatever he needed to do.
Yeah, that was
So
just a
he took
body.
care of
So for you, my
business.
love.
Yeah.
That's crazy. But like,
I'm sorry,
to
baby
be in
boy.
that much pain for that long.
If I'm ever pooping and my head starts to hurt at like a level 9 on a pain scale, I think I'm just dying.
Yeah.
Like I don't know how I come back. I literally would be like, I think it might be my time to go. I might be meeting my maker today.
Have either of you ever dealt with like a symptom or pain that then just like went away in an instant at some point?
Yeah, no, I think, I don't know, does this happen to anyone else? Because I feel like in my life, anytime I have a weird medical thing, I just assume that like, yeah, this is probably a normal thing that happens to people. But just getting like a really sharp pain and like a random point in your body and having it, and then you're just like, oh, why does my forearm hurt like this all of a sudden? And then it just goes away.
Yep.
Is that not like a cramp? Like
No.
It's not like it's like a sharp pain. It's not like a soreness like muscle pain. It's like I just feel like this almost like sharp, like someone is like poking a needle
Pinching
in my arm,
you.
and I'm like,
Ah, who are you?
Interesting.
I don't know, I'm getting some nods.
But a lot of people nodded.
Yeah.
It's just your growing pains because you're still a growing boy.
Still a little guy.
You're still getting taller.
I mean, he's not even 25,
In
is
the pandemic, when I was
he's
just, like,
younger
home
than my
one
brother.
day, I was working out, and I think I was doing like lunges, and suddenly like something in my knee kind of like,
Yep.
it felt like something was out of place,
Yeah.
and it hurt really bad, and it kind of like was messed up like all day or for like a couple days. And I was like, damn, and I was like hobbling around, and suddenly at one point, like I just kind of, for some reason, I bent my leg, and it was just kind of like, and it was fine.
Yeah.
I was like, it just kind of like snapped back into place, and I was like, oh, and I'm fully good again.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. And I was like, that's amazing. All right. I thought, I don't know. It wasn't like horrible pain. It was just kind of like, oh, like something's off. Like I was having trouble. And then it just clicked back into place.
I feel that way like when you got like a little headache and then you just like, pop a little ibuprofen.
And then it
And
works
like,
really
what
fast.
the frick? Like that? Why does that work? That's crazy.
Raven, my fiance, she just recently had a head thing because she gets really bad migraines and like like tension headaches. She was telling me that she was in bed and like her jaw has been hurting recently, like eating, it's just sore. And she was like, I was in bed and yawned and just like the loudest crack in her jaw. And her jaw immediately stopped hurting, but then she had a headache for like 2 days afterward. And I was like, I was like, I don't know, and like I'll give her like lots of neck massages because I think like some of that like tightness in the neck can lead to that. But I was like, I don't know. I was like, that freaks me out.
She
That
have TMJ?
I don't know. Maybe, but can it just fix from one pop? Like
Maybe.
it's anytime there's a big pop or something in my body, I'm like, this might be the end.
Living by myself, because I've tripped down my stairs a few times.
Oh, shit.
I don't have a handle, like I don't have like a railing to hold on to, which is probably stupid. And I've fallen a few times down my stairs, and I'm like, this could be the time that I fall down the stairs, and nobody will find me for a week.
Oh my god.
We're doing a Reddit stories with just Trevor.
Yeah.
And we're like, isn't there somebody else who's supposed to be here?
And I'm just at the bottom of the stairs, like,
Just Peter Griffin, like just
yeah.
pulled out.
Yeah. No, I need to get a railing by the time I'm like 50, because then it's like then
You got
then,
a couple years.
Yeah, because I feel like I landed pretty freaking hard on my hip one time, and I was like, dude, if I was like any older, I would be toast.
Yeah.
Oh, you just get ahead of it and just get one of those ones that takes you down.
Dude, that would
Honestly, they look like so much fun. This episode of Red Stories is sponsored by ZocDoc. I recently got out of a doctor's appointment and thought, that was easy, painless. In fact, it made me feel confident about scheduling future appointments and finding doctors that support me. And you can find doctors like that on ZocDoc. ZocDoc is a free app and website that helps you find and book high-quality in-network doctors so you can find someone you love. There are thousands of verified patient reviews to give you a real sense of who your doctor is. This is how I found my dermatologist, primary physician, and my dentist. And you get some excellent insight from these reviews. Maybe you prefer someone who is direct, or maybe you want a little small talk. ZocDoc can find someone that works for you. You can easily book in-network appointments with more than 150,000 providers across all 50 states. As I've said before, I pushed off seeing the doctor for a long time until I got ZocDoc, and I was amazed at how simple it was. And I had an appointment within 24 hours. Stop putting off those doctor's appointments and go to ZocDoc.com/pitreddit to find and instantly book a doctor you love today. That's ZocDoc.com/pitreddit. ZocDoc.com/pitreddit. Thanks, ZocDoc, for sponsoring this message. Back to the show. Okay, so
What happened? Yeah, I gotta know.
Oh, yeah.
So here are the responses.
Okay, so these are the experts that are weighing in now.
A EMT-B, aka an emergency medical technician, basic, responded, OP, I am very glad that you can experience smell again and were able to enjoy the basic joy that is meatloaf with ketchup. What's concerning me is the level of pain you experienced during and after the event, plus your medical history. As wonderful and miraculous this event is, you need to go to an emergency room ASAP. At triage, report your history of cancer, the pop, the intense pain, and the ability to smell again. You need imaging and a coagulation panel immediately. 1,000 upvotes. So a non-medical professional responded. My sister-in-law was on the phone with her mom when mom suddenly said, something just popped in my head and now I have an awful headache. Then she started slurring her words and later stopped talking. She had a stroke. My 30-year-old friend was with friends and said, something popped in my head and I feel really weird. Then screaming from pain, aneurysm had burst. 3 surgeries later and they had inserted 3 stents. The doctor said it was amazing that she arrived at the hospital and friends reported what happened in time to save her. Go to the ER with any tremendous headache with a sudden onset.
Dude, aneurysm is like the scariest thing.
It is the absolute scariest thing.
The idea that you can just be sitting somewhere in your brain
It's
just
like,
like bursts,
yeah.
like that's horrifying.
Yeah. But I have heard that advice that a sudden extreme headache is like, go to the emergency room.
Yeah.
Update.
Oh, yes.
Woke up totally fine. I'm going to tell my GP what happened and probably end up with an MRI. My mother died of an aneurysm about 10 years ago, so I've had a few MRIs because it can be hereditary. I haven't had an MRI in the last 5 years, though. I have also had a ton of CT scans from my days with cancer. Either way, based on what I'm seeing here, I will 100% tell my doctor. I have a feeling nothing will turn up on the scan, but it's better to be safe than sorry. My GP is right next to the hospital, so I can go straight to the ER. The reason I didn't go to the ER right away was because I am tested constantly because of my cancer, from heart function yearly to an MRI/CT every 5 years, to blood tests every 6 months. I have been cancer-free for 20 years now, though. The less happy reason I didn't go is that I found my mother dead in bed when she had her aneurysm, and I was told even if it had burst while she was next to a paramedic, there would have only been a 50% chance she would survive, and if she did, there would only be a 50% chance she should have regular brain function. I figured if I was having an aneurysm, there wouldn't be much I could do, and I just wanted to lay in bed with my girlfriend as my last moments, but then the pain went away.
And he smelled.
And I was smelling, and I could finally smell that my girlfriend smelled really bad.
I like it.
I don't have enough money.
Girlfriend. Oh, you're stinky.
I like the idea that he's like, well, it could be an aneurysm, but I'm alive, so I'm good.
Yeah, he was like, oh, I'm going to wait here. But I'm like, you said for 6 hours the pain was going.
Yeah.
I would go to the ER, right away.
Yeah. Okay, update number 2.
Okay.
I talked to a nurse and am waiting for a doctor. They believe I had some sort of cyst blocking my smell receptors, and what was cleared out was all infection. They said to go to the ER if my headache comes back, or I start having clear fluid drip out my nose, and to lean forward to check if anything is coming out. I'll see what the doctor says within the hour.
Ew.
What is Emily? Yeah, Emily wrote in, you ever poop so hard you pop a cyst?
Ew.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Okay. Final update. Let's see what they said. So there were 10 plus updates from OP.
Oh my God.
Okay.
They did a great job of keeping people posted, communicating their medical journey. We've summed up some of them here, plus have included the final update. All right, to summarize, OP's doctor encourages them to go to the ER for testing because she said my story is very
Space
interesting,
Ghost?
but she doesn't like it at all. This needs punch-ups.
Yeah.
That's such a funny thing to hear from a doctor. Like, okay, this is pretty crazy and interesting, but
I don't like it.
I don't like it.
I don't like it, and I don't like you. Once OP is finally seen, OP has a bit of high blood pressure, and at first the nurse says they're going to do a CT and possibly a lumbar puncture. So a lumbar puncture was just explained to me, and that is where they basically need to get spinal fluid. They need to test that, and so
The needle is huge. It's like the substance.
yeah,
Jamming.
exactly. Basically the
Yes.
substance.
Yeah.
All right, final update, I hope. After all of this waiting, I have finally been discharged. I have no aneurysms, and he said that he doesn't think I need a spinal tap because the chances of me having bleeding is very, very low. However, if I get a bad headache, have trouble walking, or anything like that, I must go back and I'll be tapped at that point. He said he has no idea what happened to me yesterday. He said I should scream this story from the rooftops because it's a great story, and to be honest, I agree. My blood pressure wasn't too bad, he said. I think it was 180/90 on the last one, but I'm not sure. I have to monitor myself closely and go back at the first sign of trouble. I haven't eaten anything today. I can't wait to get home and have some leftover meatloaf and smoke a bowl. The one silver lining is I guess
Hell yeah, dude. Meatloaf in a bowl. This is my guy.
Turns out our MRI shows that you're chill as hell, dude.
Yeah.
The one silver lining is I guess I get to wait 9 years before I get tested again. Ha 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 ha. Parenthesis, kidding. To all of you who have supported me today, thank you. From the bottom of my heart, thank you all. I was so certain I was fine until I read these messages, but honestly, I am glad I went. It's better to be safe than sorry. Never underestimate the power of human compassion. There are so many bad things in this world, so many things that make it seem not worth it. But no matter how dark it gets, no matter how much you think the world is against you, just know that there will always be a few thousand people to listen to your shit stories. All the best, that guy who shit so hard he could smell again.
Yeah.
Hey,
Wow. And
nice.
everybody clapped.
And everybody clapped. He really turned that around, made it heartfelt.
Yeah, that's lovely.
Yeah.
That's an insane story.
I think it's just like another one of those cases though, like where, and obviously I know it's a little trickier in the U.S. with our healthcare system, but like if there's something feels off about your body and you're just like something doesn't feel normal,
Right.
just go.
I know.
Just go, because like if you're just waiting for it to get worse, that could make your recovery worse, or
Right.
something could snowball. Like if something feels weird, just
go. Yeah, that was my experience when I started to feel tooth pain.
Fantastic.
And I was like, oh,
You won't
it's
regret
probably
this.
just like
A
TNT.
speakeasy on a space station is like hair on a dog. It's the natural evolution. Down by the plants. In the hydroponics bay, you'll find the speakeasy. It's sort of an after-hours gig, yeah? Great, you found it. So look, we've got to make the menu. How, you ask? Simple. Go grab some products, alcohol and drinks. Start stocking them here. Also, don't forget the pretzels. You can't have a shady speakeasy without pretzels. It's just bad taste.
I'm gonna have to make another teleporter in here.
Or something. I don't need to worry about it. And then my tooth felt like it was going to explode suddenly, and it was the weekend, so I was like, oh, my dentist won't see me till Monday. I can hold off. And it was the worst pain I've ever experienced in my life.
Yeah.
I've said it before. I'd break both my ankles again before I had to experience that. That shit was awful.
Yeah, it was like an abscess or
Yeah, it was an infection and everything. So they had to do a root canal, and it was. But once they did the root canal, I was grateful. Like, I was excited to get a root canal. So I was like, pull this out.
Yeah.
I'm a serial.
A root canal does not
I'll just wait
pull,
and see if it goes away. Because honestly, I had something happen with my tooth too, where I had it felt like a little cut maybe on my gum, but it was like so painful, and my whole tooth was like sore.
Oh.
So that's weird. I need that.
Okay.
I never went and got it looked at. And
I mean,
that's bad advice.
The tooth fell out. The tooth got really black and fell out. It smelled really bad, but it was
hurt
fine.
so bad for it hurt to eat or drink anything for like 3 or 4 days.
My God, man.
And now I'm fine.
Jesus. All right.
That's
dude.
youth.
Yeah.
You know?
Don't do it. Don't do it.
I mean, I think I was literally your age when that tooth infection happened. So. I don't know, man.
Well, guess who didn't get a root canal?
Okay. Okay. All right. Our next story comes from Relationship Advice. This was posted in 2024. It's a 37-year-old woman. My husband, who's 36, put martial arts training ahead of helping me get emergency medical treatment, and I'm not sure how to react.
Sorry, honey. My martial arts training.
My training comes first. As the title says, and I'm not sure how to feel about it or react to it. I had a sudden unexplained hematoma appear in my hand and wrist. Hematoma is when blood pools under the skin and can't drain out and can damage large blood vessels. It's bulging and sore, causing my whole arm to ache, probably about 5 inches by 5 inches and sticking out an inch. I'm also 22 weeks pregnant and on aspirin. He came home from work within 20 minutes of this happening. I showed him, and he agreed that it was alarming and I needed to see a doctor urgently.
He's just like, let me just give it a nice chop.
Yeah.
Let me try something.
We have a 1-year-old together, and I have children from a previous relationship, as does he. He's a stepdad. I'm a stepmom. I said, could he watch the kids? He asked if my mother could, as he had training. My mother had work. I just left it and began cooking dinner, totally shocked. He got changed into his training gear and came back to the kitchen. I said to him, I'm going to struggle to make dinner with my one hand.
Great.
He said,
Now
I'll pick
just
up
plop
takeaway
that
after
product on the
training.
tray.
I
It's
said,
brilliant.
Since he was
You
going
don't
to
even need
training,
to open
I have
it.
to cook for the kids as it's their bedtime soon. He ignored me and proceeded to tell me that he is tense from work and might need to get in with a massage therapist. After he left, I rang him to call him out on this. He said he would come home if it was that bad. He said he'd get takeaway, but he needs to go to training for his mental health. So he went. I cooked and took care of the baby and children. He came home, ate, showered, and is in bed. Eventually, he asked how my hand is, showed him it's 3 times bigger than when he left. He said to go to the emergency room. I don't want to now. I'm so tired, I feel like I'm not worth it anyway. And while I'm there, I'll just be worried about the baby and he won't help to alleviate it. I felt it was really cold that he went to training instead of watching the kids while I sought treatment. But I'm not sure if I'm overreacting.
Oh my
Wow.
That makes me so sad.
The amount of stories we read similar to this.
Oh my
Where it's like,
God.
yeah, I was dying
Mate,
and he
I
was
know
like,
this
no,
is
but
new
I've
and
got
all, but not
basketball
everything can be
practice.
sold
Like,
in the
what?
speakeasy.
Babe, for my
Double
mental
check
health.
what you're
I can't
ordering
help you.
before
Hey,
trying to
sorry.
cram it any
I gotta
which
get my
way.
gi on.
I get you have this freaky unknown thing happening with your arm and hand.
It's
but
beer.
Like,
What do you
gotta think
mean?
about my mentals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's fucking
also,
beer.
I might have to get a massage after.
Yeah.
I might have to get a massage. I'm so sorry.
I understand
So
you're going through a lot, but I'm going through a lot too.
I kind of need a massage.
That's crazy that she's like, I gotta make my kids dinner. Cause like in my head, I'm like, you gotta go to the hospital.
Yeah.
Like figure out the food thing, like with the kids.
No,
like,
this is
that sucks.
yeah. Comments. You still haven't gone to the emergency room? Go to the emergency room. Deal with this later. You need a medical professional. My friend had 3 DVT, deep vein thrombosis, and 2 SVTs, supraventricular tachycardia, during pregnancy. They looked like what you describe. Again, go to the emergency room. OP responded, I'm here now. It got so painful, I thought my hand was going to explode. Someone else said, you are not overreacting, you are underreacting. To your children and stepchildren, you are more important than the whole world. They rely on you. Go to the emergency room ASAP. Then kick this loser out permanently. He is making your life harder and dangerous. Someone else said, most martial arts at their core are about becoming a better, more rounded up person, not dancing around on a mat. That includes protecting those in need, putting them above yourself. Your husband is a failure. I would have lost respect.
Another martial arts guy coming in and being like, that is not the way.
I can tell by this post that your husband is terrible at karate. Yeah. Someone said, I'm also wondering if he may be having an affair and the training and massage was actually him meeting his affair partner.
Oh, he's getting a massage.
The problem is when someone
Sorry, I won't. If you're just listening to this on the podcast, you're welcome.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you saw this on video, I'm sorry.
If someone listening to this knows exactly what you mean.
Yeah. They heard the jerk motion.
They
heard the wind
know-
through the air.
Where was he planning to get a massage at night after his training? Do you know why his previous marriage failed? Did he cheat on his first wife? OP responds, yes, he cheated. He did it loudly and proudly too and made her think she was crazy. She has sworn off men now. I didn't know this when we got together. He also made out to me that she was perfect and the relationship perfect and that I ought to hold a torch. I obviously didn't know he was a total asshole then. He He swooped in post-violent asshole. I probably needed a therapist, not a cuddle. I'm just having a revelation.
Whoa.
Holy
Oh my
crap.
god. Yeah, I hope this is the wake up call because that just that makes
Wake up, call, and
It's
it's
a sassy one where you read it and it's like, man, it doesn't really matter if he's having an affair or not. He's so awful.
Yeah.
Okay, look. So he says he's doing karate, right? So now what she needs to do is set up a scenario where somebody goes to rob both of them.
And see if he actually knows karate.
Yeah, and then check his form. You know,
Yeah.
how are his punches? How are his spin kicks?
Yeah.
You
The
know?
person that she should hire
Get them with
should
the
be
kicks.
someone who's good at martial arts.
Yeah, a black belt.
A black
at
belt.
the very
yeah.
least. And and if he can't defend himself, he gets his ass
Go
kicked.
comment that.
It's a win-win.
Go comment that.
I think we figured this out. But first, obviously, the hospital is take care of that first,
She's at the hospital now.
and then get your husband's ass kicked.
Yeah, get his ass kicked. It's like kind of one of those where every Reddit post has a comment that's like, they're cheating. And it's kind of like, okay. But the second she's like, yeah, he did cheat in his previous relationship, it's like,
And was proud of it.
and was like loud and proud and gaslighted his ex. I'm just like, oh, well, now.
Those
Now,
blinking
yeah, I
lights,
believe it.
that
Yeah.
boom
Because he also
sound,
is just
yeah, meteorites.
acting
Not
like
a
he
big
gives a
deal.
shit about you.
Find where they hit
Yeah.
and
So
patch it up
all
before it
signs
becomes
are
a
pointing
problem.
to that now. Every medical thing related to this, it gets amplified by the fact that she's pregnant. Like, I keep forgetting that aspect. It's like any small medical thing is so much more serious when you're pregnant.
Sure.
Yeah.
So that's just a whole other aspect to it.
Yeah.
I feel like if someone, if my partner, for any reason, even if it's not like a visible, like, giant thing on your arm, if they're like, hey, I don't feel right, I think like I need to go to the hospital, there is never a situation where I'm like, sorry, I don't think that's gonna, like, let's get you there. Like, I'm gonna find a way to get you to a hospital if you feel like you need to go.
You need to go to the hospital, I'll go with
I
you.
could never imagine in a million years being like, I'm gonna leave.
Yeah.
I'm gonna leave you alone while you're, especially when there's kids. I'm like, dude,
Yeah.
like you don't care about anybody in this situation. Well, there's no more updates, but I'm glad she went to the hospital. It sounds like she's having a revelation. Hopefully,
Let's hope for the best.
she's in a better place now. All right. Our next story comes from True Off My Chest. This was posted 2025. OP writes, I was ugly sobbing at the doctor's, then the most embarrassing yet hilarious thing happened to me. So today I went to complete a form at the doctor's office for my nursing program at university, and they said it cost $160. I sat down and I just straight up started crying to myself because I'm so comically broke, it's insane. I was called in not too long after, and the doctor asked what was wrong. I just sobbed uncontrollably that I was only 17 and didn't know how I was supposed to pay for everything. Like, so ugly, I'm talking snot and tears running down my face like nobody's business. He sat in silence for a bit, then said he'd waive the fee for me, and then, of course, my bum ass cried more because it meant so much to me. I thanked him for his kindness. Then my snot started dripping like a melting icicle. As I'm blowing my nose, he asked me to come and check something, and lo and behold, I get up and drop my tissue. I immediately bend down to get it, but the room is so small and I'm proximity blind, so my ass hits the chair and rocket launches me face first into the wall right next to him. And to make it worse, as I pull away, I leave an imprint of my tear-soaked, snotty face on the wall. I got up with my face red, snotty, and wet, and straight up laughed the stupidest, most low IQ laugh known to mankind. Because, like, what is even going on right now? I then stood there with the composure of a dumbfounded brick as the remnants of my faceplant of doom haunted me a few inches away. The doctor turned away and stifled a laugh, then asked if I was fine. And all I could do was wish I pretended I passed out with my face glued to the wall by my snot so I wouldn't have had to face him again.
That is so funny.
Dude.
I
Alright.
feel bad for them, but
that's
that is funny.
pretty funny.
And then they died. Just dead.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's,
so that happened to this person.
You have to have a lot of moisture on your face for it to
Right.
leave an imprint.
I just imagine it was like
That's a good little robot. Pet, pet, pet.
Just skidding across.
Just slowly sliding down, just face first.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so there's that.
I was gonna make a Well, because he said it was because medical, and he said this is the subreddit True Off My Chest. I was like, oh, it's gonna be a mastectomy story.
That's fun. Hey,
Hey,
it's funny.
truly, true.
I don't know. This is the joke. This is a joke I had bouncing around my
just doing
head.
some jokes
I feel like I needed to get that off my
I
chest.
get it. Hey,
you know?
true, off my chest.
Yeah.
This reminds me of how like I do feel, and I think this is common, of people to feel kind of embarrassed at the doctor or being like nervous about anything, you know? Like we're just like, no, doctors see so much stuff every day. Like,
Oh, yeah.
It's not gonna be embarrassing.
Yeah.
I went to a dermatologist for the first time in my adult life recently because I was just like, oh, I've never gotten a checkup. Like I should just make sure it's good. And then of course, like I go in, they're like, yeah, so I need.
There's
you to,
the
like,
vacuum.
basically
I was
strip
looking
down,
for
give you
it.
just your underwear, and we'll
Yeah.
come in and check. And I was kind of like, right, of course they need to look at my skin, but I'm just sitting there, just kind of like, this. I hope this is weird.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just like, this is really weird.
Yeah.
But I'm like, they've looked at so many people today.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
and like, so the doctor
You're
then
not
comes in, he's just
special.
kinda like,
Don't
"All right,
worry."
yeah," just, like looking around me, and I'm just kind of like, whatever. Because
Oh,
like,
wait,
as
I'm poor. I
someone
don't have the
who's not
money.
doing
What
that
have I
all day every
done?
day, you recognize how weird the situation is,
Mm-hmm.
but for a doctor, completely normal.
Yeah.
But for her, smashing face first into a wall, it's super embarrassing, and she should feel embarrassed. He's never seen that before in his life.
Yeah.
That's true.
Nobody's ever seen that before in their life.
Yeah.
I gotta
So-
believe that doctors like probably love stuff like that because I'm sure that they
Yeah.
deal with like a lot of like difficult things, like sad, difficult, whatever it is, and then
Yeah.
for them to just have like someone do something that funny, it's probably like that's probably like a nice little bright
Yeah.
spot on his day.
I think so. I think so.
You gave him a nice Looney Tunes moment.
Yeah.
I enjoyed them. Comments: nothing in life is free. You had to pay up somehow. Someone said, I've been a supervisor before specializing in the onboarding
Hey, with
department.
the
I would go through many candidates a week. I would hire you. Why? Because you're genuine. That's all. You did great. Give yourself some slack. Let your human self be human for a moment. Yeah.
Yeah.
Prime nurse material. You know?
That's what they're saying.
That's what I
I
hear
don't know
that's
if
what
I'd want my nurse.
I hear
to
that's what
be
they're looking for.
Falling face first into things.
When your nurse comes in to save your life, but there's a banana peel on the floor.
And there's a rake on the ground.
Yeah,
she
it's
steps on. It goes kaboom.
Slides through the wall and leaves a perfect silhouette.
I am imagining. I know this didn't happen. I'm imagining like she like went into the wall, like there's like it smashed into the wall. Fun to visualize.
Love it.
All right, our next story comes from Am I the Asshole? This was posted in April of 2024. Am I the asshole for not paying hospital bills after my friend tripped over my dog?
Oh, okay.
Oh, I
we
see
got
what's going
ourselves a
on.
little
Okay.
dilemma here.
Got ourselves a dilemma.
Okay.
Yesterday, my friends and I were hanging out in the park. Me,
How
plus
do
my
I
dog,
change the
my friend
colors?
Kathy plus her dog and another friend, Jenny.
Use
Jenny
the
was walking
no.
Kathy's dog, and they were walking ahead of us. Kathy was walking a bit behind me and my dog. Kathy decided that she wanted to catch up with Jenny, so she started running from behind me.
Okay.
As Kathy ran past me and my dog, she fell and tripped. We thought it was a minor injury, but it turns out she dislocated her shoulder and needs surgery. Kathy says that while she was running past us, my dog suddenly ran toward her and she tripped over my dog. Honestly, I didn't see clearly how exactly she tripped. I couldn't tell if my dog actually ran into her or if she tripped over my dog on her own. My dog didn't make a sound and didn't seem bothered. Jenny also said she couldn't tell. Kathy wants me to pay her hospital bills because she says it's my dog's fault that she tripped. But I feel like it's unfair for her to ask this. If my dog had bit her or attacked her, obviously that'd be a different story and I would 100% pay all the medical bills. But in this instance, Jenny and I are both unsure if whether my dog ran into Kathy, whether Kathy tripped over my dog, or whether Kathy tripped by herself near my dog. Kathy started running from behind me, so I didn't have a clear view of what happened. The money isn't a big deal, but out of principle, I don't want to pay the bills because I feel like this isn't my fault. Am I the asshole? Edit. By the way, my dog is a corgi. So free not big enough to knock anyone over, but you could definitely trip if you ran into you
Yeah.
while you're running. Edit number 2, Kathy is my coworker. We've been hanging out more, so I started to think of her as my friend. But we are coworkers. We work together in the same smallish office, which also makes things a little more awkward.
I mean, like, the thing is, like, Kathy's the one that's making this awkward. Like, I think if the dog's on a leash, I don't think it's the owner's responsibility, because like, I could see, like, if you're at a dog park or something and a big dog barreling towards you hits your leg, breaks your leg or whatever, then I'd say yeah, that's on the owner. But this person was doing the running, not the dog.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think she owes Kathy jack squat.
I don't either.
I don't think there's a way you can cut this situation. Like, even if the dog did run into her, she's the one that decided to run, and you never know how a dog's gonna react if you start moving fast out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Like my dog can just be laying on the floor, and if I get up from the couch too fast, he's like, You want to fight? Like you just like you're running around a dog, and if the dog gets underneath you, like it's a dog, it's a small dog, it's an animal. Like that's on you as a human to be responsible.
Also, if the dog didn't get hurt or didn't yelp or anything, that's almost making me think like she didn't even trip on the dog.
Contact is questionable. Sounds like just a skill issue.
Yeah, and like, but I think like if you agree to pay for medical bills, then you're admitting responsibility. And then what happens if she's like, oh,
there is a beautiful blue
too, and you're like, no, I don't want to do that. Then she sues you, and she's like, well, you paid for this, you admitted fault. I don't know. I'm just thinking America brain right now.
No, for sure. It certainly gets into like murky territory of like if you're just running and you run into someone, can you blame them for your injuries? It's just like, nah, man, like you chose to run. Like there's obstacles. You're on a hiking trail. You're not like, I don't know.
This just unlocked a memory. I was a kid one time. There's this park down the street from my house.
You were a kid one time?
Like 8 years
old.
Probably. Like I was
sorry,
in elementary
dude.
school. And someone
the
like
rest
had
of
their
your
dog,
life you were an adult
off of a leash, and they were just like playing fetch. And I didn't
thought he
see
came
it,
out
and then there was just
with
a ball on the ground, like a
parents.
tennis ball, and I went and picked up the
Like
ball,
20
and this
years
dog
old.
just barreling, and
Okay, I have
just
a green.
completely sweeps my legs
I have
out
the
from under me, and
blue.
I literally like did a flip and just like landed
nice,
just,
and I got the
and
pink.
then I just walked home.
Yeah,
I didn't even talk to the person. I didn't talk.
Why does it look like
the dog
Umbrella
just, like,
Corporation?
Took me out, grabbed the ball, and I was like, all right, guess I'm going home.
Okay, so the cargo is pink.
Videos of dogs just absolutely leveling people or kids. Hilarious.
Kind of funny.
Yeah. No, it was like I wish I had a video and could see from like an outsider's perspective, because I remember like my legs flying up in the air.
No, like when a dog's just going and they just barrel into someone, it's very funny. I also love videos, not quite the same, but where people are walking and a cat will be waiting somewhere and just like smack them in the face. That shit's hilarious. See, when you see videos of cats doing that stuff, it's so intentional.
Yeah.
Dogs do it by accident.
Yeah.
Right.
Cats are actually like, no, I meant to hit you. That's great. Verdict, not the asshole.
Okay.
Comments, accidents are why one has health insurance, not the asshole. Also, keep in mind that if you consent to pay, you may open up a Pandora's box of issues, lingering pain in the future, physical rehabilitation, pain and suffering, etc. 6,000 upvotes. Someone said, not the asshole. This was all Kathy's fault. She came from behind, so you could not see her.
Nice.
And she was the one running into your dog. Don't pay. She was negligent and injured herself. Someone responded to that. Yep, if anything, she rear-ended that dog and therefore is 100% liable. Someone said, not the asshole, but also tell me you're American without telling me you're American. Someone responded to that saying, the asshole is the American healthcare system. True.
Yeah, sure.
Lastly, someone said, Kathy can get f***ed here. Frankly, Kathy. She decided to run and ran into
Where you
a
going,
dead
buddy?
corgi. Tell her ass to eat her
Oh, I know he's going.
She's fragile as shit.
Oh my god.
Oh,
Is there a picture of the corgi?
no.
Aww.
What's the fucking point?
What's the point?
It's the poster's fault. That's what they're the asshole for.
Okay, they're the asshole.
Not including a picture of
OP's
their
now
dog.
the asshole. That's how it goes. Next story also comes from Am I the Asshole? This was posted in 2023. Am I the asshole for refusing to remove my medical equipment
Now
during
grab
my
the drink
sister's
the
wedding?
customer wants from the fridge and click the glass.
My My sister is getting married next weekend,
Great.
and I'm
So just
a
like
bridesmaid.
walking,
I'm
we're
a
going to
type
pour
1
that
diabetic,
liquid
and
right
I wear
into the
2 medical
glass.
devices,
Now be
a
sure not to
Dexcom blood sugar
overfill,
monitor
or
on
for
one
that
arm
matter,
and a
underfill the
Omnipod
glass.
insulin pump
The
on
better
the
we
other.
do
They're
here,
both really
the more
small,
credits
under
we
2
make,
inches
yeah?
each, and work together to automatically monitor and regulate my blood sugar levels.
Okay,
this basically
good job.
means I don't have to
You've
prick
got the
my fingers
glass.
to test
Now
blood
bring it to
sugar
the
or give
customer
myself
and set
insulin
it on the
injections.
highlighted
The
spot.
system does
He'll
that
get to
automatically
drinking if
and
he's
makes
not
my
already
life
munching
way
on something.
easier.
If
Today
you
when we
did
were trying
well,
on our
I'm
dresses,
sure they'll
my
leave a
sister
nice
told me
tip.
she wants me to not wear them during the wedding
Nice.
because the gowns are sleeveless and the devices will look ugly in the photos. I told her I wasn't okay removing them. They're essential medical equipment, and I'm not going to put myself in a position to affect my health just for some photos. My sister complained to our mother and some of our friends, and they are all taking her side. They say it's no big deal if I just don't wear them during the wedding, but I don't see why I should. Mom suggested I could move them to my stomach, but I've tried that before and find it incredibly uncomfortable. When I put a new sensor on, I'm stuck with it for 10 days until it expires, and I can switch to a new one. And I don't want to be stuck with one on my stomach where it will bother me the entire time. They're all complaining that I'm not willing to compromise at all, but I don't think my health should be an area where anyone can ask what I compromise at all. Am I the asshole?
That's insane.
That's
dude.
unbelievable.
Like, actually, your health isn't important. What's important is these photos looking real nice, and you had that ugly little
she's
thing
the
on
asshole.
your arm.
Yeah.
Like that's
Those
that's
photos.
insane.
Yeah, how
They'll
hurtful
last
and
longer than
insensitive
10
is that
days.
remark too, because
That's
something she wears daily.
Yeah.
And her sister's going, yeah,
So
that
stupid.
ugly shit you have on.
That
It's like, damn.
dumb, stupid fucking thing.
So this is how you think it.
They
I
finished
look
that
all
That's
the time
personality.
because of this.
If they want
Thing that
another
keeps you
glass,
alive.
fill it up
Yeah.
for them.
Healthy.
Otherwise,
Oh my
you'll
God,
want to take
for my
this
brother's
dirty
wedding,
glass
I,
over to the
sprained my
large
ankle
sink
really
in the
bad, and I was in a
speakeasy.
boot, and I was in a boot. So for the pictures, I took off the boot, and then I just put it back on, and that was like a very simple thing. I just took it off for a few minutes to do the pictures. But for something that's literally like a medical device for like diabetes like that is on you,
Diabetes
insane
nuts.
ass.
Yeah.
Like that is so. Yeah.
It's also a small device.
Yeah.
She said less than 2 inches each. It's just like, okay.
Some people just get so obsessed
Come
with like the
on.
aesthetics of a wedding.
Yeah, and it's just like, hey, like there's color schemes, there's certain themes, fine. But when it gets to like no change.
What
who
do I
you
do
are
with
as a human
those?
being,
Them in
yeah,
there?
That's always where they're in the wrong. The verdict was not the asshole. Also,
Is that
unfortunately, and this
trash?
just
What is
seems like
that?
always the case when we read wedding Reddit stories where the mom and other people side with the person who's shitty. Like, it just always feels like, yeah, the shitty person's gonna have more people backing them for some reason.
Yeah.
I mean, I think there's just
All
a lot
right.
of like
Now, couple things to note.
misunderstanding
If you've got
around,
pretzels in those pretzel
you
bowls,
know, like
customers
medical
will stay
equipment
longer and spend more
diabetes
credits.
and that kind of stuff.
Don't
and
ask me why,
people think it's
they
like
just do.
optional,
Right.
I guess. And yeah.
And it's easy for them to say it to someone, to be like, oh, just move it to somewhere else. It's just like, you're not the one who has to deal with it.
Yeah.
Like,
Right.
they are.
Yeah.
No, and you're right, like, because, like, it's clear that she feels, like, a certain type of way about it all the time. Because, like, it's something that she noticed and brought up. Like, if I was in that situation, I wouldn't even think of that, I feel like. I wouldn't ever look at that and be like, oh, no, like, it's something that she notices and is always looking at or always, like, thinking of often. That
What do
it was
I
a
do
big
with
enough deal to be like,
those?
I don't want that in my picture.
Right.
Which is just, like, uncomfortable.
Yeah.
But it doesn't really matter what everyone else thinks. 'cause,
Oh.
like, if it's related to your health, it's none of your business.
Yeah.
Of course.
It's always best to get
100%.
your
I agree
chores
with
out of
that.
the way early on,
But
yeah?
what an awful situation
Once
for
you've got
OP,
some
because
dirty
now
glass,
her
now
sister's
bring the
done that, her
sponge over
mom's
to the
taken her
sink and
side.
start
All of her
scrubbing.
friends, it's like,
You'll know
oh,
it's
I-
working if you see the
she
bubbles
now,
rising.
even after this
Once the
wedding,
cups are done, they'll get put on the
whether
clean
she-
side.
does this compromise or not, it's like you have to move on past that, knowing now how you're perceived
But
by
how am I
these
even
people. You're
supposed to-
supposed to have your back. That's got to be very hurtful. If it's so dire for the sister, she could probably even talk to OP and just be like, is it cool if I Photoshop it out afterwards? Like, fine. Like, You know, there's that option as opposed to like, hey, really alter all this stuff.
Yeah.
That is so crucial to you.
That's a super. I mean, if it's just the glucose monitor on your arm, that's
I just
super.
can't imagine
easy
being bothered by it
to
though.
paint that out in Photoshop.
Sure, that'd be easy to do, but even still, I'm like, I just can't imagine being upset about that.
It just communicates. Like, it just even bringing it up communicates of like, oh, that thing, it's ugly. Like, I don't want it in my photos. Like that ugly thing on your arm. Could you like move it? Like, even if you don't say it like that, that's what you're communicating. Is like, that thing isn't aesthetically pleasing. I don't want it in my photos. And it's just like a really shitty thing to do.
I think it's kind of cool. You look like a cyborg.
Yeah, totally.
You know?
Cyberpunk.
Yeah, exactly. It is cyberpunk.
Comments, not the asshole, promptly declined the invitation to attend if your sister
See,
cares
one
more
glass at
about
a
her
time?
aesthetic wants than
Confused.
your medical needs. 12,000 upvotes. Someone said, seconding this, I just got married wearing my Dexcom and tandem pump. I wore my Dexcom on my lower back, but I normally wear it on my arm. I did so for photos, and you know what? It sucked. My readings were off, and I was stressed about that. Looking back, I don't care if you could have seen my Dexcom because it's a huge part of who I am. Tell your sister to kick rocks if she cares more about her aesthetically pleasing wedding/photos than your well-being.
Yes.
Someone else said, not the asshole. Photoshop exists for reasons just like this. Asking you to compromise your
What
health
are
is
those
self-inflicted,
for?
Not to mention
Vacuum
unreasonable.
pretzel?
Someone said, my aunt turned up to
Vacuum
the wedding with 4
pretzel.
stitches in her
Ah.
forehead from surfing that morning. She was also dopey from the meds. The photographer we had just removed them, and we didn't notice until he told us
So
he did it.
confused.
Hey,
that's awesome.
Yeah, my
That's
aunt
pretty
was
cool.
shredding some crazy gnar cracked open her skull. Didn't matter.
I love the idea of just showing up to a wedding, just f***ed up.
we could cut this, but I'm also like, oh, and the photographer also made our aunt snatch with huge naturals. Just like the aunt's just like crazy proportions. Like, what the hell did you do to our aunt? And our uncle too.
I love the idea of
It's like we just asked for a slight touch-up.
Jesus, you gave my uncle just a massive butt.
I love the idea of like going to my nephew's wedding and being like, yeah, I kind of want to surf this morning. Let me go catch some waves.
I gotta
this
go
morning.
catch some waves.
Yeah. Why is it
Someone
so
said, not the
hard?
asshole, and I am judging your mother hard. Your sister and mother suck, frankly. Who in their right minds asks someone they love to neglect their very serious health issue for aesthetics? A lot of people. A lot of people are just out of their minds at weddings. I don't know what the deal is. Update. Oh my
Okay,
God.
I cannot get this one clean for some reason. Oops.
This is some unhinged family drama that
What?
escalated a little too fast.
Really fast.
Someone said, not the asshole, and I am judging your mother hard. Your sister and mother suck, frankly. Who in their right minds asks someone they love to neglect their very serious health issue for aesthetics? A lot of people. A lot of people are just out of their minds at weddings. I don't know what the
Okay,
deal
well,
is.
this glass is
Update.
probably just there.
Oh my gosh, thank you so much to everyone for the responses. I didn't
Just
expect
really
this post
weird.
to blow up the way it did at all. So I have an update for everyone. I didn't want to involve others hoping to settle this between myself and my mom/sister, but my brother got wind of what happened last night and absolutely tore my mom and sister a new one about how hurtful it was to suggest I go without my devices just for her wedding photos. He then told my grandfather, who is paying for the wedding. Grandpa apparently drove an hour into town this afternoon
I'm
just
just
to tell my mother how disappointed he was and that he must have gone wrong somewhere raising her. He told her that if they didn't apologize and make things right, my mom should figure out how to pay for all of the outstanding wedding costs herself. Now, I do think this was a bit extreme. I wasn't looking to cause this much trouble for my mom and sister, but it seems to have worked because they called me to apologize and say it was wrong of them to suggest I just go without my monitor and pump, and we can find a way to dress it up instead. I accepted their apologies. We decided to try wearing flower corsages over each device so they can't be seen. If that doesn't work, we can try a shawl, as many of you suggested. Again, thank you for all the support. I'll be giving my grandpa a big hug and buying my little brother dinner tonight as a thank you for having my back on this. Maybe it seems minor to some, but it was really upsetting to me that my own family turned on me when it came to my own health. So it was a really big deal to me that they unconditionally supported me when my mom and sister wouldn't. That's so good.
Yeah. Thank God.
Thank
the
God.
happy ending.
Happy ending.
The happy ending.
And I mean, I think it just like, you know, I think it was just more of like an ignorance thing with the daughter and mom. Like, so, I mean, it seems like the apology, I would accept the apology.
Sure, I get that. Because, like, I know with a lot of weddings, the vibe is like, hey, let's make everything peaceful and right.
Yeah.
But I think it's good she stood her ground here. I'm really glad that she had other people back her up.
Yeah.
I get that, like, after the apologies and after the acceptance of, like, okay, you're not going to have to go through that ordeal, to be like, all right, now I'll keep the peace. I'll accept your apology. We can move on from this, as opposed to, like, holding it on.
He's drunk.
But happy about this situation.
Happy ending. We don't get a lot of
Oh
those.
god, I'm
Yeah.
super
Reddit.
drunk with
I
pretzels
just
and
picture
liquor.
like the grandfather's like this like oil tycoon guy, and he like comes out of his
That's
Rolls
a
Royce
lot
with his
of
like little
trash.
cane, and he's like, I tell you, if you don't apologize to my granddaughter, I'm cutting you out of the will.
I'm picturing the
You know?
grandpa as the Monopoly man.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. This last story comes from True Off My Chest.
You look stressed out.
I am stressed out.
Just gripping his head, just.
We talked earlier about how doctors see everything
No,
all
where's
day.
the
So it's like doctors are not
vacuum?
phased. So
Yeah,
like
I see a lot
I
of-
was embarrassed to be, basically naked in front of a doctor, but I'm like, oh, for me, I'm just another like part of the job.
Sure,
like,
they see
I'm
a
nothing
lot of-
special, just whatever.
You see a lot of objects and a lot of
Yeah.
different holes.
Right.
Yep.
But this final title, this was posted in March of 2025. Surgeon made fun of my penis.
Dude.
Yeah.
Oh God.
The title.
Oh my God.
So perfect.
What an ass. What an ass
All right,
doctor.
let's see what this is.
Who does that? What the fuck?
I'm sorry. Imagine like getting home from
I think I
surgery
remember
and you
this
like
story.
it's a roommate part or whatever, and you're like, oh, dude, the surgeon made fun of my penis.
Now I'm like dying to know. I want to know details on this man's penis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
Is there a photo?
is it a funny looking one? Yeah.
Oh God.
Let's go.
I, 32 male at the time, am a big dude of 2 meters and 120 kilograms. That's 6'6", 250 pounds in drunk pirate units, and had to have surgery on my calves because of varicose veins. So the day of, I was told to get completely undressed and put on the generic open back gown, which due to my frame made me look like Donald Duck, if you know what I mean. I was led to the OR by a nurse and placed on a cold metal table. They administered some local anesthesia to my legs, and after about 10 minutes, laying naked in a cold, brightly lit room, waiting to be sliced up, the 2 doctors strolled in.
Take me now,
I was very
doctor.
anxious, cold, and self-conscious, so I just stayed still. Nurse.
He's really saying a lot of cold.
Yeah.
He's
Also,
he's
it's really
insisting-
cold.
It's very cold.
And I was
cold
just in the
table.
pool, and
Guys,
so
It was very cold. Okay.
Freezing, guys,
I think I see where this is
freezing.
going. Continue.
Nurse says anesthesia was given, patient ready. Doc 1.
Huh,
walks to
the
table.
anesthesia,
Wow, big
yeah, he's
finger and
giving.
Such a small dick.
No.
Yeah.
Doc 2 laughs. OP goes, what? Nurse, in a panic, oh no, you have the wrong patient file. This one isn't the fully sedated one. He is awake.
Yes! Dude, if I'm awake on an operating table and a doctor thinks I'm asleep and makes a joke about my tiny penis, I don't think I would make a
Oh,
noise.
so you have a tiny
I think I'd be
penis.
So mortified
Nice
that
to
I'd just
know.
Be like, that was the worst thing ever. Like,
I might just go into a coma.
I might just die.
I
What
mean,
a
like,
tiny penis.
Yeah. Wow.
So, yeah, nobody said another word to me for
We're
the rest of
losing.
the operation. Just 200 decibels of awkward silence while they ripped veins out of me. It felt like Ricky Gervais wrote this scene. I should have walked out, but I was too shocked to even think. When they were done,
That's
they
a
exchanged quiet
dark-
words with the nurse and quickly walked out. It was a bit shocking, but I quickly laughed it off. I mean, they
I don't
weren't
even know if this
wrong,
one is
but
part
man,
of it.
some people. Edit,
Can
this
you?
was 10 years ago. I am fine. Oh, God.
Dude.
Damn,
wow.
dude.
I mean, yeah, of course, because like doctors are humans, like everybody else, and they're gonna talk.
Oh yeah,
You
or they.
know? Like,
I know,
but there's obviously like a level of professionalism you're supposed to bring to the workspace, and then you go home and you're like, honey, this dude's but yikes.
Yeah. At the very least, if you're gonna make fun of someone, at least try and be funny. Like at least make like something like a little shrimp. Like, ooh, didn't realize I ordered the shrimp Alfredo. Like, at least try and.
Yeah. I would respect if they're even attempting something.
If they're attempting some sort of, well thought out joke.
I guess like, why is it even worth commenting on?
If I'm a doctor, like, I wouldn't want to like look. I would probably try to avoid looking at as many penises as possible. Like,
because you're gonna see so many throughout the day.
It's not something I want to look at, and like I'm not gonna like let my like examine it. Like I'm working on his legs, I'm gonna look at his legs. I'm not gonna like be like.
I think
they had the wrong patient file. They didn't know why they were.
Because it was a local anesthesia, not a
local anesthesia. So this guy was fully awake.
So dumbass read the chart wrong or read the wrong chart, and then
it's kind of one of those situations where I'm like, I understand that they thought he was fully sedated. But it's like, dude, you're a professional. I also understand that doctors are just in there all day. This is just like becomes routine. But it's like, damn, man, like, I'm still like, you're an asshole. You're like, that's still a really mean thing to be doing and saying, and the way you're talking about patients.
I mean, it's physicians like that make people afraid to go to the doctor. Because they're self-conscious.
I don't know if he can sue them to make him feel.
They don't want to share with the doctor.
Right.
Like,
that was
10 years ago.
So,
commenting on anyone's like.
He definitely could.
In any way like that is just like, it's just something you don't need to do. It's not like
it's so stupid.
Comments. Wrong patient file. The do you mean wrong patient file?
When did I just saw a penis?
Okay, what?
Was it? No, it was in a show. And it was like, was it the
Chair Company?
Was it Saltburn?
It was the most recent episode of the Chair Company. And I was, at the end, I was like, come on, man.
It was weird.
It was
a weird penis?
No, it was a fake penis, but it was a penis.
And it was just, you didn't see it coming.
You really didn't.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Sometimes you don't.
Another comment says, my grandma told me a story like this. She wasn't fully sedated while they had to save her during an ectopic pregnancy. After the doctor came in, they said, oh boy, she's got some mud mashers on her. I know she ain't happy with those feet. She has a beautiful face, but look at those feet. My grandma wears a size 10 wide for women, so she has big feet, but stands at a solid 5'3", or 160 centimeters. She couldn't speak, but she wishes she had told them that she heard them after she fully woke up. OP responded, I once worked on a live-streamed operation as a sound guy. Doc had a mic on, walks up to elderly cancer patient, opens the torso, sighs, and says, yeah, close her back up. She won't live another month. Let's do lunch. This was streamed live to 6 universities. Docs are just people mechanics. Whew.
Yeah.
Someone said just a thought, but have you tried having a bigger penis? I should.
Man,
I
never
never
thought of that.
Dude, that's good advice.
Oh, that is really good advice. Wow. Damn.
Oh,
I
fuck.
didn't know we'd be just be on talk for like the last 20 minutes.
That's what happens when you get the guys
Yeah, unfortunately. Unfortunately, that's just what happens, and you get 3 boys in a room.
That's medical drama. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Penises.
Did this happen on the pit?
Penises.
Yeah.
Probably.
That's my favorite.
Did this happen in the live show? We don't know yet.
That's exactly what
Anything could have happened in that live show, which you should check out by going to live.smosh.com. It's probably going to be pretty wild.
It's pretty great.
It's pretty good.
It's pretty great. There's improv. There's things that we've written like an entire drama.
We have a full like medical drama in there with also a bunch of improv wildness going on too. So, anyways, Trevor, Ian, thank you for joining me.
Thank you
today.
Thank you, Dr. Top.
Yeah.
Thank you, Dr. Still.
Oh wow, it does say that.
I mean, this is your office.
This is
so
my office.
You must be
I do
Dr.
sleep
Dilf.
here.
For the podcast listeners, there's a plaque behind me that says Dr. Dilf. I had no idea that was there.
And it says MFT PsyD PhD.
I'm confused.
You were in college forever.
Yeah.
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 Still are.
Trying out for the bar tomorrow.
Nice, man.
Yeah.
Add to it, Esquire. Pretty sick. Thank you for watching. And please go check out our live show at live.smosh.com. And we'll see you next Saturday. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
The parents are gonna get Mexican food.
My aunt was diagnosed with metastatic lung cancer. I lost my job. My great uncle, like a grandfather to me, died. It all hit at once.
Oh, brother.
Yes. Now that it's your turn to be in a crisis, she's nowhere to be found. To make it worse, my sister had gone through a medically necessary pregnancy termination not long before. Something deeply traumatic for all of us. Anything involving pregnancy or miscarriage wasn't just sensitive, it was a wound that was still raw. When I told Carla about my dad, only about my dad, her replies were short, cold, almost dismissive.
Girl,
For those that are just listening, I just gave the side eye cam a bombastic side eye. As more bad news came in, she barely responded. Then, the day before my birthday, she sent a long message and said she didn't want to be my friend anymore because she needed to align her energy with people at her frequency.
That's not how this works.
I beg your finest pardon. Okay. And lately, I talked about myself too much. Is it that you're talking about yourself too much, or you're not
What are
talking
you
about
supposed to
her
do
anymore as
then?
much?
You got it.
Which was wild, considering all our conversations revolved around her drama and crises. And when everything in my life fell apart at once, that was the one time I actually talked about my stuff. So, if reaching out for emotional support from someone I thought was my best friend counts as talking about myself too much, then sure, I guess I did. Bombastic side eye. Number 2. Getting that message the night before my birthday felt like being kicked while already on the floor. I didn't reply. I had nothing left to say. Yeah, the weight of it being like right before your birthday too. Something that's not about her is super, like the timing is, I don't think, a coincidence. Now is when the universe started doing its thing. Oh, okay, right. Okay, I'm seated, I'm sat. A while before any of this, a huge artist announced a show. Carla wanted to buy 2 tickets, one for her and one as a gift for me. Her credit card didn't work, so my brother used his card and my account to buy them. She transferred the money, end of story. After her message, she said she'd be selling both tickets, including the one she gave me as a gift. I didn't have the energy to fight, so I let her have them. Then fate stepped in.
It's destiny.
A few days later, I ran into her mom, who asked why I'd suddenly disappeared. Which surprised me because Carla supposedly told her everything. I explained what happened. Then I gently asked how Carla was doing after the miscarriage. Her mom looked confused.
What
She
miscarriage?
sighed incredulously and told me Carla had a long history of faking pregnancies, miscarriages, and dramatic medical episodes whenever she felt she wasn't the center of attention. Oh, buddy.
I can't watch.
This is so bad. Like, this is so toxic. Oh my god. I hate this so much. Imagine you're making everybody worry about you. You're playing the victim. I also hate when people do this with mental health too. Like, it's actually so annoying because, like, how are you supposed to argue with that?
Don't get any ideas.
How are you supposed to expect anything from a relationship when the person that constantly always has all these it's just like, how can you argue with that? Oh, they're depressed. Oh, they're having, like, just a horrible, horrible time. Like, of course I'm going to be there for them. Of course I'm not going to yell at them for being a bad friend. It's the constant walking around on eggshells, right? They evade any responsibility and they get all the spotlight. She'd done it multiple times. Everything suddenly made sense. The cancellations, the inconsistencies, the theatrics. And I felt this wave of anger I hadn't let myself feel. Not because she lied, but because she lied about something so serious, knowing exactly what my family had gone through with my sister. Ooh, I might be reaching here. It's almost like she saw an opportunity in something that was really, really awful that happened to you. She saw how, you know, you got all the attention and, you know, it meant something to you. And she decided, hey, maybe that's the next excuse I'm going to use. You guys can tell I have some experience with this. She knew how traumatic that experience was, how raw it
traumatic?
was, and she still used the
It was so
pregnancy and miscarriage
traumatic.
as a prop in her drama cycle. That was the moment I realized just how little empathy she actually had. I went home and blocked her everywhere without hesitation.
That was cool.
Here's where it gets interesting. A few days before the concert, the tickets appear in the account used to buy them. In this case, mine. When she realized she had no access and saw she was blocked, she started pestering my brother on Instagram and even LinkedIn. Messages, comments, DMs, insisting he tell me to hand over the tickets. She tried guilt, manipulation, passive-aggressive jabs, and made comments so unbelievably tone-deaf and insensitive about my dad's condition that my brother blocked her on the spot. It wasn't one sentence, it was the general coldness and the way she minimized everything we were going through that made him realize she had zero empathy.
You have no heart.
While she spiraled, I quietly handled everything behind the scenes. I checked my email daily, updated my password just in case, waited for tickets to drop, and made sure there wasn't a single crack she could slip through. No drama, no confrontation, just moving in the shadows. Excellent. When the tickets finally showed up, I immediately sent the extra one to my best friend of 15 years. She'd been supporting me through absolutely everything. My dad's diagnosis, the family stress, the mess with Carla, all of it. She knew the whole story. And the artist? Her absolute favorite. She tried to buy tickets on release day, but they sold out instantly. Seeing her cry when I surprised her felt like healing. We went together, and it was one of those nights that remind you your life can still be good. We laughed, sang, danced, and for the first time in months, I felt genuinely light. Carla never got access, never got explanations, never got closure, just silence, the kind she created. And the final sprinkle of cosmic seasoning? Not long after everything, I got a job at a company she'd always dreamed of working for, one she had applied to and didn't make it past early screening. I landed a senior role with actual decision-making power. I didn't brag or rub it in, but the news absolutely reached her, and I won't lie, it felt like the universe closing the book. Also, my dad and aunt beat cancer's sour little bottom. Hell yeah! Oh, hell yeah! Oh, yeah, I love to hear it. Let's go! Sometimes petty revenge isn't loud or dramatic. Sometimes it's choosing not to let someone back in and moving on with grace and letting the universe handle the rest. This is my favorite kind of petty revenge because you didn't have to do much, you know? The trash tends to take itself out.
Yeah.
And you know, there are some instances in life where it's like, why do these people get everything, you know, they want? They're horrible people, right? Does that mean you need to go out of your way to make their life difficult? No. But it bothers you, right? It's always nice when the karma does come back around. I charged my friend $90 after she altered the dress I lent her. Am I overreacting? Oh God, my hair is greasy. I feel like a greasy little piggy. Okay.
Hot.
I, 24 female, have a friend, 23 female, who came to me a month ago asking me to
little
borrow
piggy.
a blue bridesmaid dress. I was a bridesmaid for a wedding with a blue theme not too long ago, so I lent her the dress I used. She was, keyword was, a really good friend, so I didn't mind helping her out. After I handed her the dress, she texted me thanking me, and I have not really heard from her since. Anyway, the wedding happened, and a week later, she came to return the dress she borrowed. When she came over, I asked her how the wedding went and whether or not the dress was comfortable. That's when she admitted she had it altered.
No!
It fitted her better, since she was smaller than me.
That's not your dress, woman.
She's smaller than you. She's so dainty.
At least ask before doing it.
Ugh. And she liked it more snug. So, didn't ask you at all. Just did it without your permission. I don't understand why she's even giving it back. Like, what are you supposed to do with that? Yeah, no, that's
Keep it.
That's.
You're learning to spend money on it.
Gagged, confused. I don't even know how to feel about it. She didn't even ask my permission to have it altered. Also, isn't it common etiquette to return borrowed things in the same condition you received them? Also, she could have just asked. Yeah, here's the thing.
had to
have a
do
thing
it.
About lending people
I
things.
read my friend's
I
book.
do. It's like
So without telling him, I
should be
went and bought
common
another one.
courtesy to return things in the condition that you received them.
Correct.
That is not the case. Like 90%.
I don't think
of the
he
time.
ever knew about
When
it,
you
though.
lend something to someone, think to yourself, am I okay with never getting this back or having it returned to me looking like an absolute sack of potatoes? Not in a good way.
Peraí, perdão, melhor que
If
tu...
the
Ah,
answer
nossa,
is
vai
no,
dar, né?
I would argue, don't lend it. Anyways, we had a conversation about how I didn't really appreciate what she did.
What
She
is that?
apologized and flat out said I could still have it readjusted if I wanted to wear it again. She was
Fertilizer?
willing to pay for it. Readjusted. I mean, it kind of depends. Like when you're taking something in, you tend to like cut fabric.
What does it do? What is
like,
that?
So, to make it smaller, and then you cut the remaining fabric. Unless she didn't cut that fabric, I don't see... And even if she didn't cut the fabric, why is it that she didn't do that before giving it back to you? Like, I told her I wasn't sure it would work since she basically shrunk my dress. Then she suggested I sell the dress. So I asked her to buy it since she took it upon herself to have it altered without my permission. She asked her how much. And when I told her it was $90, she straight up told me it was too much.
$90?
I mean, in this day and
Doesn't seem
age,
too
$90 for a
expensive.
dress, like unless you're buying something from like Shein, that's not much. I'm just saying,
find it.
unless you're thrifting or you're buying something from a fast fashion website or
What is that for?
Amazon, like, I feel like the
Martian?
norm on it, like, we're also talking Canadian dollars.
What is
okay?
that
Maybe
supposed to
American
do?
dollars.
It's
I
fertilizer?
would say the norm for a dress, like a nice dress, is like $100 or more. No?
Brown check back tomorrow.
Too, like alterations cost.
Whoa.
I feel like it costs like at least $20 to alter anything. So she straight up told me it was too much, that she wasn't willing to pay that much for a dress that had been used. Kids
Yeah.
just, like, borrowed it and like ruined it.
Doesn't make sense.
So, like,
used.
no.
Bitch,
I
you
felt
used
like
it.
it was a reasonable price as I bought it for almost $120. And it's a cute dress I intend on wearing again. Am I overreacting for doing what I did? Is my reaction valid? Okay, here's said dress. Oh, it's a cute dress. Cute dress. Yeah, very cute dress. So yeah, she clearly like
Normal.
took it in at the waist. She's so tiny. Yeah, I mean, listen, it's quite possible that $90 is too
Doesn't seem
expensive
bad.
for the friend in this story, but if that's the case, then like if you cannot afford to replace someone's stuff that you borrow, you should not borrow something from someone. If she did
Sanitation.
by lending you a dress that you didn't have to buy one, and you ruined it, so now I'm sorry, but like you need to pay for it. I don't feel like what you did was an overreaction at all. Like, what are you supposed to do? Like, why do you have to take the L in this scenario? Like, anyways, P.S. Hoping there are dress experts, dressmakers here. Is there a possibility to restore the dress to its original size? The dress is made of satin and she made it snug around the bust and waist area. It depends if she cut the fabric. So there's pleats.
I forgot. The people in here again. No, wait. Did I did it. I did
on the
those.
side. When you're taking stuff in, you like obviously pin and then you sew along the pin and then you cut the fabric. So I don't know unless you put like paneling that's like the same color, like you would have to. I did a little fashion stuff in university. I know a little bit, not a lot. Nerd. Maybe some paneling on the
A
side.
nerd.
The same color if you can find a similar fabric, but at that rate it's kind of like just buy the dress again.
Yo, what
Fabric
up,
is
nerds?
expensive, and like you're gonna have to pay to have it altered again. Like I'd be surprised if your friend.
Oh, everything is radioactive
You
now.
have an update, so not overreacting. My grandma used to say borrowed is related to gifted, and learned the hard way that that's true. It's not OP's fault, but like you have to be prepared to not receive what you lend out, at the very least in its original condition. I honestly can't believe the audacity to alter that dress. A true friend would have told you, hey OP, thank you, but it's a little big for me, instead of basically making sure you'll never be able to wear it again. And she also like gave it back to stop considering her a friend. And $90 is stupid cheap for a dress alteration to make it big again. If that were an offering that existed, yes. She can't be that naive or so blasé that she didn't even hear the seamstress mention it won't be able to be put back again. Alterations are not cheap. Just saying.
Yeah.
Seamstress here, being able to restore the dress to your size will depend on how the dress was altered to begin with. If the tailor was able to preserve the extra fabric, then it may just be a question of
the way it was also cut, it needs to be have been cut a really good way and doesn't look weird.
Right, because then the fabric
so stupid. What a dumb bitch.
like a line, like you can see the fabric through the dress, especially if it's thin fabric, which it is because it's satin. Then there's not much hope without some creative solutions like inset panels or shortening the skirt and using the fabric from that.
Or ask her where she got it and buy one in your size.
Otherwise, a bridal store with an on-site tailor may be your best bet. Ironically, the cost to restore the dress will probably be around $90. It's satin, so even if the excess is there, you will see it. All right, so like obviously not a seamstress, but I do know a thing or two about alterations. Done them myself. Had a sewing machine. Was pretty good at it. So, on to the update. I have spoken to dressmakers, tailors, dress experts, and they all said the dress cannot be restored to its original size and form since it is made of satin. Oh, what a pain in the I swear. I even went to the actual shop where my friend had it altered, but they also said there was nothing they could do. Anyway, my former friend still refused to pay me and is being a crappy person. Not surprised. Plus, she had the nerve to ask me to just give it to her or sell it to her at a lower price. And it got me wondering if it was her motive all along.
What a bitch. Take it to small claims court.
She probably knew the dress can't be re-altered. I don't know.
That's new.
I wouldn't put it past her. Because why on earth would she give back a dress that, like, literally would not fit you anymore? After all that, I decided to just cut her off and take the high road. I honestly have the time or energy to chase her down for $90. I know I can buy another cute dress with the $90, but I'd pay triple that to never, ever speak to her or see her again. I ended up giving the dress to my roommate who isn't a crappy friend, and thankfully it fits her perfectly with some minor adjustments on the sides. So at least the dress didn't completely go to waste. I feel like if your friend was like nicer about this, you probably would have given it to her. You know what I mean? Like, but she just went about this in such a sneaky, awful way. Yucky. I don't love it. Like sometimes my friends get upset with me because I don't want to lend them things, but like friendships do end over petty like this. Like they do end because you just yeah. Anyways, they do end, and it's not because I don't trust my friends with my stuff. It's because the few times I have lent out my stuff,
You can't contain me.
to me like totally
You
ruined.
can't-
So I have rules for lending out my things, and like you know, you learn, you live and you learn. I'll take deposits. I'm kidding. No, I just don't lend. It's because I value the friendship too much to let it like be ruined. You know, you can't
I buy
control how
stickers, but
like
I don't know
you know,
what
if
to do
someone
with them.
breaks something. You know, so like you have literally no control over.
I mean, you don't have to stick them somewhere. I used to have a book where I put all my stickers and I all stick them with a scotch tape. Like that, they were never gonna be ruined, but they were still stuck on the book, inside the book. That's normally what I do.
Oh my god, I gave her my dress. It's so pretty. Oh my god, so cute.
Best friends forever.
It's Kyle.
Moving on. How do I tell my friends they're not giving me enough credit for their relationship?
Okay.
I'm not gonna lie, my feelings are really hurt right now. A couple years ago, my two friends met each other at a kickback. I initially had reservations about them two dating, but I let it go. My friend Thomas even asked advice for planning this one date for Emily. It was still early on, and they had been on a few dates, but this was the date that made her realize he's the one for her. I was instrumental in the planning.
What? What do you?
Thomas's birthday, and she was giving a toast on their relationship, and she
Be
didn't
happy for
mention
them,
me at all. It felt like a slap in the face. I'm not trying to make it too long, but there are more instances of both of them just not acknowledging at all the role I played in their relationship. How can I bring this up? Do I talk to them individually? Or
You know,
do
I
separately?
did.
Hang on a
I
second.
did have a
You
couple
literally just
times.
say you didn't even want them to date at
I
the
made
beginning,
people
and now you want credit?
meet each other. Apparently, I didn't even know. But my friend, she was like, "Thank you so much. I don't know if you were not there, I would have totally not be with him." Blah blah blah. What? You need? How? Because she was too shy to be alone with him all the time. So yeah, it was really cute. Oh, but it happened so many times to me.
Hey, human. Just a heads up. Corporate's given you the go-ahead to hire a fuel employee.
Yes!
Go and check out the employee computer on the bridge.
Whee! I'm stuck. End time. Oh wait, that can be like until. Let me be done. Okay, 8. Stop it! I'm trying to confirm. Fuel. Ow! I gotta put my cheek. This one too. Confirm. They all need to be there. Teleporter. Modify. Confirm. And the trash. Well, this one I don't really like. Until maybe. Confirm. It's gonna cost me a little bit more, but at least they're gonna do it until the people are all gone.
Today just feels like a lazy day.
Oh yeah.
I haven't done anything today.
Productive. I have not either. What do I do with that? Is that a beer?
I'll work on drawing stuff. That's something I can do.
Oh no.
I do have to feed Ted though. I'll be back.
Let me just get out of there. So I cannot. Gone. Are you kidding? Pretty colors. shit. No. Oh, I need fuel. Oops. Oh no! I forgot. I need to put the fuel in first. Wait, I'm pretty sure. Does it still work? No, it does. Yes, it does. Wait, what? Ow. This one. Start a smoothie. Spice more.
Something tells me there's a little more
Spice?
to the story.
Space.
And, oh, look at this little update in the comments. 2 years ago, you told your friend Emily to break up with Thomas and she refused. How exactly did you help with their relationship? Oh, that's an interesting turn of events. Interesting. no, that doesn't surprise me because, like, why would they give credit to someone who told them to break up?
This is weird.
Make it make sense. Yeah, you weird for that, OP. Okay, let's look at the posts from 2 years ago. My 25 female friend, 24 female, is dating my male friend, 25 male, even though I told her I'm not comfortable. Should I tell him to end things?
My friend said the same thing to me. That's funny. You're my both best friend. I don't want you both to hang out with each other.
Thomas and I both became
Be a
friends
couple.
since we were
It's
19.
weird.
Thomas had a crush on me, but he's not my type.
Okay.
For 2 years, he tried to get with me, but eventually he got the hint, and we remained good friends. A month ago, I was hosting a kickback, and that's where they met. Thomas mentioned to me that he likes my friend, and asked me to set him up. I said no. I told him if he likes her, to speak to her himself, and he did. Emily asked me about him when he tried to talk to her, and I said he's a good guy. Neither one of them asked if I was even okay with them dating each other. You never dated this guy. You weren't interested in him. Why do they need your permission?
She even said that's my ex also. What do you mean your ex? You went.
They've been on a couple dates, and I told Emily.
You went out with him when you were like 7 years old. Like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Possible, despite talking shit about them, unless maybe you did. I haven't gotten to that part yet. You did everything possible to make them not be together. And you want credit for the fact that they're together? Okay, someone is sipping the Delulu lemonade. I told Emily after our second date I don't feel comfortable with this. I asked her to end things, but she said no, and that's unfair to ask because she really likes him. She said I should have said something before, but they really should have asked me if I was okay with this. Why? You didn't date him. You didn't like him. Or maybe you liked him a little more than you're letting on. I want to talk with Thomas about this before they get too serious without impacting our friendship. Yeah, I don't really think that's going to be possible, babe. First of all, it sounds like you like Thomas. Second of all, you seem to be holding this like very strange grudge, and you don't want them to be together. So I don't really understand why you want the credit for them being together, and like you want to talk to them about it. Like you're gonna sound absolutely crazy. Just saying. You need to work on your main character syndrome. You helped a friend plan something once, so what? That's what friends do. It's literally like the bare minimum. It's not like you like set them up on a date. It's not like you know, like went out of your way to like really push them to be together. You did all. Like you did maybe like once they started dating, you did something nice where they were like asking you questions and like asking
Where you
like,
going?
help on stuff. But I'm sorry, but you don't get credit. You don't get like points for doing the bare minimum for a friend. Like you just don't. He was supposed to say, thanks for helping me plan this when you did the planning. There's absolutely zero need to bring this up ever again. Stop acting like everything revolves around you. Yeah, I would agree. I would say that if you ever bring this up, you will not be their friend anymore. OP's kind of fighting for her life in the comments. This is just an ongoing thing. It's just so many times in the context of their relationship, it feels like they're intentionally leaving out that they met through me. But they didn't.
No one cares, though.
Introduce them, buddy. Like you said that you refused to introduce, what was it, Thomas? Thomas?
Yeah.
Thomas, who's that?
Thomas the Train.
Thomas and Emily. So you refused to introduce Thomas when he asked you for an introduction, and now suddenly you want credit for their relationship. Yeah, someone's chugging the Delulu lemonade. Oh, I'm sorry. How's the sale at Delulu Lemon? Good? 80% off? Yeah, you have it in abundance. Yeah, I would say don't ever talk about this. Ever. Am I the a-hole for leaving Friendsgiving and taking the food I made with me? Okay, so I'm most definitely sure that what I did was petty, but I've come to ask a bunch of strangers for their opinion on whether my pettiness was deserved or not. By the way, this is from the Charlotte Over YouTube subreddit. Like and subscribe. So, to start, I, 29 female, have a group of friends I've been friends with for over a decade. I met these friends through my cousin Jocelyn, 31 female, when we were in high school. Those were her friends she grew up with, but she and I didn't become close until we started working together for my uncle's grocery store. Think small neighborhood bodega. So we were constantly working together, and eventually I started hanging out with her. I was just a sophomore, and they were the cool older kids. Through the years, we became close, and that became my group of friends too. We regularly get together for parties, dinner outings, etc. Usually if we do anything that requires a hosting spot, Jocelyn would host all the events at her house because she has the space for it, more than the rest of us. The group consists of 3 other girls and 2 guys. Every year for the last few years, we've always had a Friendsgiving, and every year people tend to bring the same things. I usually make the turkey and maybe a side dish. Now, on to where the issue begins. In the group chat, we were discussing dress code and who was bringing what to the event. Some years we would dress up like it was the party of the year. Sometimes we all just wore joggers. It would depend on how everyone was feeling. The week of the event, we all decided to wear joggers and keep it comfortable. One of our friends is pregnant, so it's understandable she wants to dress comfortably. We all decided, as a group, to dress comfy.
I don't like where this is going.
Come the day of the dinner, I get to the event, and everyone is fairly dressed up, except for me. Apparently, and I found this out from the guys later, Jocelyn had texted the girls separately and said they should dress up nicely because I always dress nice. Plastic side eye. Okay, well no, if we're all deciding to wear
Cozy
joggers,
corner bench.
why are some people being told to dress nicely and some aren't? Okay.
What is that alien doing here? What are you doing here, mister?
It's like having
Get
a
out of
party where
there.
everyone's supposed
What?
to wear, like,
Who
I don't know,
are
like,
you?
an ugly costume and you come with, like,
You're the
your hair
bear,
and makeup
aren't
done
you?
looking amazing, you know?
Fingers long. I miss when these
That's so
were
weird. Oh, that's weird.
automatic.
For context, I do take pride in my appearance. There was a time in my life where I was dating someone who was controlling and abusive, that I couldn't even wear what I wanted without him saying something about it. So during that time, I would dress very muted and toned down so as not to cause issues. After he and I split, I finally had the strength to get away. I began experimenting with my personal style, and now I love being able to wear what I want and have a bit of an eccentric style.
Yes,
Anyways,
queen!
Jocelyn and the girls were texting about how I tend to go overboard when I dress up and even casually.
Yes,
because
queen.
I accessorize
Yes,
and
queen.
like to do my makeup. So they assumed I would do too much, and they didn't want to look bad, so they all agreed to dress up.
Excuse me?
Okay, hey, hold the phone. Hold the phone. So they didn't want to look bad, but they didn't mind if you looked bad.
Makes sense.
They
You
even
got
texted
it,
the
got
guys
it.
separately too. Although in the guys' defense, we do have a girls-only group chat that we use sometimes, and we will talk about things, then later relay it to the guys in the big group chat. So it's entirely believable that we would have changed the dress code, and they found out through one of the girls.
Still.
I would take this as a slight. I might be overreacting, but I don't like it. When we agreed to dress comfy, I took that literally. I came in joggers and an old t-shirt. I understand that at the end of the day, they're just clothes, but the fact that the girls went behind my back to discuss this without bringing it up to me hurt a lot. Yeah, because they intentionally wanted to make you look shittier than them.
Rude.
It sounds like they have, like, an issue with you looking good. Oh, okay, yes. Like, look at this next sentence. Apparently, it only started because our pregnant friend Maria, 31 female, was talking to Jocelyn about how I make her feel insecure with being able to dress nicely while she's struggling to feel confident due to her weight gain. Okay, so the solution is to, like, try to make, like, honestly kind of humiliate you and, like, go out of their way to make you look bad when you're literally just existing. Okay, the difference is that you're not
That is not the right one. I just poured the wrong fucking.
feel worse about themselves. They are doing that. Maria is about 8 months along at this point, but last month we went out for brunch for one of our friends' birthdays, and we all agreed to look nice. Maria wasn't happy with the dress selections available to her.
There's
since
something.
she's so far along, and that's when she started talking to the other girls about how I tend to do too much in terms of the way I dress. I mean, this is just more of like what we always talk about. It's just like, you can't be mad at people for existing, you know? You can't be mad at people for looking nice.
mad at me,
Like,
dude.
what are the expectations here? That like when your friends are pregnant, you are not allowed to look nice ever because it would make them feel icky? Dude. So this led them to assume I would dress up more than the comfy dress code we agreed to. Yeah. I don't believe that. It doesn't make any sense. It's not the same as like, okay, let's say you have a friend that's always late. So you tell them to arrive early so that they show up on time. This is not the same thing. That's basically what they're trying to equate it to. Oh, you tend to overdress. So let's everybody else look better so that you, like, it's like evened out. Like, no. When I found all this out, I was really hurt and sad.
No.
Also angry enough that I decided to go home. But I'm kind of petty, and I worked hard on the food I made. Yeah. This is bold of people. This is bold, especially when you're the one that made the turkey. So I took it with me and left. Again, I know it's petty to have taken the food. My phone was blowing up when I left. This was almost 4 days ago, and I haven't talked to any of them since. Some of my friends have tried calling. Maria texted me and told me I should be understanding. She just wants to feel comfortable and confident too. Okay, but like,
You can't do it without raining down on the people. Like, duh.
but if the cost of that is other people looking lucky to pander to you so that you feel better about yourself, that's fucked up.
That is fucking ridiculous.
But it feels
That's
like
regarded.
drag me down in
That's
order
what
to
it
feel
is.
comfortable. That's exactly what happened. One of the guys said I should just be the bigger person and apologize for leaving and taking the food with me.
Why?
No.
Okay, no, we can like.
We're the
both
one who was excluded.
apologize for things we have done wrong, but I still feel betrayed, and like they should also apologize to me for not coming to me directly and telling me how they felt. Yeah. If they really feel like I dress up too much, they could have asked me to tone it down. Even that is weird. That's weird.
Where's the
You're
car?
not wearing a ball gown, like.
Oh no, I lost it.
Come on,
Where's my
people.
car?
At the same time, I feel like I shouldn't have to tone down my personal style that I work so hard to even get to. Yeah, you shouldn't. Like, I know that me and my friends like to dress up for each other. I don't dress up for male attention. I dress up for my girls. Okay? And you can totally find people that enjoy dressing up. You know, life's a little short, right? Wear the damn thing. It's not like I wear a wedding gown to a night when we're watching movies on the couch. I dress appropriately for whatever we do. Sounds like you just hot.
Hot damn, giddy hot diggity damn.
Whether that's in jeans and a t-shirt or a cocktail dress. Yeah, no, it sounds like you're prettier than them and they like it. Anyway, I feel really bad about what I did, but I don't want to say anything until they apologize to me as well. Am I the a-hole for taking the food home with me?
No.
You reap what you sow, you know? Like, they really should have thought about how you would feel before they made you make the turkey. They decided to intentionally make you look bad by a prank. I mean, was it a prank? I don't know. It wasn't really a prank. It was more like they intentionally made sure you didn't get the memo. And were conspiring behind your back. You have every right to leave and take your food. If you aren't good enough for them as you are, neither is your food. I just sent in the group chat. I'm deeply hurt by the group banding together and talking behind my back and crafting a plan to make me look bad. I valued all our friendships and would have come to any of you personally if I had an issue with you. I never would have embarrassed you in front of the entire group. I hope you can stop and think about how it made me feel to be ganged up on by everyone. Very good. Very good. Well done. An immature and insecure person. If only I could knock them down enough, I will be good enough. That is a tale as old as time. And they do it in other ways too, right? Whether they, you know, diminish your accomplishments or, you know, they get snappy with you when something good is happening or, you know, they intentionally try to look better than you or like try to make you look bad or, you know, like any manner of things. You can completely tell how someone feels about you by how they behave around you.
No, I'm sorry. I didn't give him what he wanted. I should give it to him instead.
I agree, but we also have an update. Excellent. I want a t-shirt that says I heart
You
update.
did kind of put the name or do the
So,
name.
Maria and I had a heart-to-heart.
Like, oh, I
She
have
admitted it was a
like
childish move
where
for her
you're
to
waiting
talk
for the
about
waiter.
like that.
So it brings
She said that she went to Jocelyn
and
and
it looks like they're
confided in
coming
her
right
about all
for
her
you, but like last
For a
second
little
they turn
background,
and give
Maria
you
and I are best friends. We all may be best friends in the group, but those two are the best of friends. So Maria told me that Jocelyn was the one to suggest everyone dress up nicer without telling me. She said that because she's my cousin, that she knows me well enough to know I won't be mad or that I would still show up dressed up. Okay. I feel kind of silly for feeling so betrayed when the situation was just over clothes, but at the same time, I'm glad Maria talked to me about it. It opened my eyes a lot to who I consider friends. I also sent a text to the group chat. I let my feelings be known and that their actions really hurt me. Most were apologetic, but of course Jocelyn was acting like I was the one being childish. I'm honestly starting to feel like I may just take a step back from the group as a whole. The situation left a bad taste in my mouth.
Yeah.
Especially for my cousin. They may have been friends for the last decade, but this wasn't cool at all. I'm going to work on my confidence more. I shouldn't have been so hurt.
Dude, no! I have your drink right here. Oh, it's 4 a.m. They have to leave.
But like, they intentionally went out of their way to try and make you look bad. You know, like that's not nice. That's not a nice thing to do. I don't think. Like, I feel like you're taking on a lot of this, and at the end of the day, it's like you didn't do anything wrong. I would also argue. I understand Maria and Jocelyn are best friends, and Maria has a right to feel, you know, insecure about like what her body looks like. You know, pregnancy is tough. We make so many sacrifices as women. Like, goodbye beach bod, you know, for like a year at least. So I can understand her feeling insecure, but like, I don't understand this like, okay, so because my best friend's feeling insecure, then I'm gonna try and make people around her look like me to make her feel better. Like, a friend in that scenario would do things to like uplift her.
Hello? Let me pick it up.
Other people down.
Okay, what is going on?
She might have thought that she was being loyal to Maria. I don't think that's loyalty. I think that, like, you know, she could have just reminded her, like, hey, man, like, we love you as you are. You don't need to, like, you're carrying a baby, you know, like, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Plus, your boobs are big. You know, things like that, right? I could have turned it around and took it as a compliment that they feel I dress so much better.
Bloody hell.
Yes.
Okay, human. The warm stuff doesn't go there. Put it on a shelf.
I still find that very silly.
Oh yeah,
You
I
have to
forgot.
really want to change. Again, I've worked hard to find my personal style after being so controlled. Thanks again for your comments and well wishes. I still think that your like real friends, like good friends, will celebrate you looking good and not want you to look worse so that they feel better. Yeah, like other people are saying in the comments, it's the right move to take a step back. I think it's important for you to find people who celebrate your personal style. That's the right move. Take a little step back from the group. I don't think that most would take it as a compliment because it was done behind your back. Yeah, they did deliberately go behind your back and like tell everyone else to dress nice. And it's like, yeah, I guess, you know, it is a compliment that they think you look so good that they need to like intentionally make you look bad, but that's still like kind of mean. Not kinda, like really mean. People showed you who they are. Your cousin may have some jealousy issue toward you. Be careful when letting her know things about you. She may betray your confidence. And you know, people are in the comments saying, you know, you're minimizing your feelings. You have every right to feel hurt and betrayed. That's why I said, you know, OP seems to be like feeling at fault. That's trauma. For a lot of this, I don't think that she did anything wrong, at least not based on what she shared. You should never dim your light to accommodate other people and make them feel better about themselves. You should never have to do that. So, are you
What the fuck was that for?
Friendsgiving and taking the food with you? Am I overreacting? I brought cheese slices with me to McDonald's to put in burgers, and then I had a fight with my friend.
So random.
In my home. We decided to get McDonald's, but in Australia it's expensive, and I don't believe in spending $16 for a meal, especially when I'm gonna get hungry. Anyways, a hamburger is $2 and a cheeseburger is $5.30.
What the fuck?
That big difference. Oh.
$3 extra for a slice of cheese.
I get a hamburger and put my own sliced cheese in it and make it a cheeseburger.
Yep.
Smart.
That's what my mom does to me
Yeah,
too.
okay, fair. We went to McDonald's and I did just that. I brought 2 cheese packet
smart.
slices. I got 2 hamburgers for $4 and put
Like she bought an hamburger, but she cuts her own tomato salad and she put her own cheese. And...
Keep in mind, we did drive through and no one was watching us. Just us 2 in the car. My friend said she's embarrassed for me and said I ain't paying $11 for 2 cheeseburgers when I just paid $4 and brought my own cheese. She said if I do anything cheap again in public, she will be more embarrassed and will walk in front of me. Just us 2 in the car.
You saved $6. How's that embarrassing?
I wouldn't
It's $7.
necessarily call this embarrassing. I would definitely say you're frugal. Okay. Some people are just more frugal than others, and like I actually agree that like a $3.30 difference just because you put a slice of cheese on a burger, that's kind of crazy. That's nuts. She was actually serious. Then I said, your top is from Shein or Temu. I don't think you can speak. A little passive-aggressive argument went on, and I finally said, what is your problem? What I'm doing is not that serious. I just brought my own cheese to save money. Not that big of a deal, and no one's watching. I feel sorry for you that you feel the need to impress strangers at McDonald's. Thanks. It's not like you went up to the register and complained about the difference in hamburger versus cheeseburger prices, okay? You just brought your little cheese. You opened up your hamburger, you popped the cheese on top, and you toasted it.
No!
It was an awkward drive back home, and then she left my home.
Oh, come on, I was so close to 300 there.
I mean, you're definitely frugal. I don't think she had a right to call you, like, cheap and embarrassing, especially when you were in, like, a drive-thru and nobody saw you. Would it even have been cheap and embarrassing if you were in the store? I don't know. But, like, I get where you're coming from. That's a big difference for a 10-cent cheese slice. Like, those packets of the cheese slices, you know, the, like, processed cheese or whatever. I don't even know if they're real cheese. Probably
Gosh.
the ones they put on in McDonald's, they don't taste like it. But you get what I mean. Like, their packets are, like, $4, and it comes with, like, 20 or 30 slices of cheese. Yeah, I mean, you know, if you're trying to save money here and there, you just save $8. That's just that. I'm not even mad. I'm just impressed. That's smart. I do find it funny that we're being like, McDonald's is not like a fancy French restaurant. You know what I mean? Like, we not at the Ritz, honey. She's like, you're being so cheap. It's like, hey, we're at McDonald's, babe. Settle down. So, edit to add. It was those packet cheese slices individually wrapped. You can get at supermarkets for like $4 for a packet of 24. Oh, I know the one. I know
Yeah,
those.
the American
Great
cheese.
grilled cheese too. I didn't tell her I was doing it before we left. I just put those 2 cheese slices.
Aww.
McDonald's was a 5-minute drive. Why would they need to tell them? I don't. Okay. Yes, you can check Australian hamburger versus cheeseburger prices. The hamburger is $2. The cheeseburger is $5.30. But it can vary from store to store. One store selling it for like $5.50. To be honest, even if we were dining in, I still would have put it on. No one is going to care, and I highly doubt anyone is going to see. If they do see, they can judge all they want. I mean, you're the last one laughing because you have an extra $8 in your pocket. Money, 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 money. My friend is not rich nor broke, but she also is not the smartest person financially. I myself ain't cheap per se, but I will try penny pinching everything. I honestly don't see the point of paying $5.30 for a cheeseburger, which feeds a 3-year-old when I can just bring my own and pay $2. Yeah, I mean, when you put it like that, it makes sense. For 2 cheeseburgers, I can get 5 hamburgers and just bring 5 cheese slices. I mean, it literally doesn't affect anybody else. If you want to do that, then that's up to you, man. Like, who cares? It's really not a big deal, okay? I mean, do I want 2 burgers or 5 burgers for the same price? 5 burgers is much better than 2 burgers. Also, the cheese I got tastes way better than McDonald's. It actually has a cheese taste. We went to McDonald's because it's 11:30 p.m. Nothing's really open at the time except for expensive food truck places, and their burgers alone, not a meal, can be $17 for 1 burger.
I'm rich.
After tonight, I don't think I want to contact her again. She showed her true colors. I don't know, man. If that's what you want to do, and you want to do it to save money, like at the end of the day, that's your choice. And it sounds like you won, and you had the last laugh in the end. I fail to understand why this is any of your friend's business or why she's at all embarrassed. Shame. It's not like she's the one paying for it, you know? It's kind of a silly thing for her to have a problem with. I would, take a little break from this friend. Am I overreacting? I mean, I don't think it was necessary to have a fight in general, but like I also don't think it's your fault that it was a fight, you know? I just fail to understand how this affects her at all, and the fact that she made it about her is kind of silly. So yeah, I distance myself from her. We got one more spicy one for you. I saved the best for last. Am I the a-hole for sending my friend home without clothes because she used my boyfriend's shower?
The shower is a wonderful
All right. 21 female. Boyfriend is 27.
Oh, there she cleaned
Hurry.
herself.
Friend in question is 25 female.
it.
became friends
How
loosely
dare she?
with him, and I'd see her whenever we hung out with my boyfriend's group of work friends. She got out of her long-term relationship a couple of months ago, and since then, she's changed up a bit toward me and my boyfriend. And I've noticed certain comments and body language that started to make me like her less. Over the weekend, my boyfriend and I, plus a couple of our friends, went paintballing. Some of us went to hang out at my boyfriend's apartment afterwards, including V. My boyfriend